All right, we are here. Howdy, Xavier. Good to see you. Hope you're doing swell. All right. Well, would you look at that? Am I? Am I crazy? I guess we'll find out. I can't believe it. No, I don't care about you. Don't care about you either. Oh boy. I feel kind of impressed, I will say. This actually went over my head. So, I wanted to do other things today, chat, but, life had different plans. I got wrapped up in, working on, you know, some of the stuff on Tumaru. And I will say, it's kind of wild. It is kind of wild how I'm still finding stuff. Oh, still finding new stuff. How did the dogs not come after me? That's weird. I'm still finding new stuff. There we go. It's absolutely crazy to me. So in this case, I'm looking at all the particles in the air. Because originally, I was just like, oh yeah, dust particles, you know, like they're trying to show off like the new graphics and all that stuff, right? And you know, that's still true, I'm sure. You know, showing off the new graphical capabilities and all that. What From Software is able to push compared to when they're working on Dark Souls. But now I'm noticing something different. Something very, very different about these particles. Because I happen to be reading good old Famitsu. Reading it's a Japanese magazine for those that don't know. Very popular, especially in gaming circles, of course, because that's what they cover. Yeah, I was reading over their old articles that Mef's Wiki had thankfully kept scans of on record. You know, and I've read through like them different times and stuff when I'm trying to collect data on things or whatever, but I didn't remember certain details. So either I never read those little sections of blurbs before, or I completely forgot about it and it didn't register the significance of it. Ooh. Oh. It's not here. Fascinating. God, yeah, I'm way too over-leveled for this. Hey, Nicolino, good to see you. But yeah, these particles aren't here. I've never realized. They're over at Central Yarnum, but they're not here. Is it because they thought it would be weird to have it here in the sewer area? Huh. Figure out the lore on the extra arm and glowy bits? No, I have zero focus on that. If I cover great ones, I'll probably go back and like look at some details, see if there's anything extra. But for now, I'm like, it's not really that important. Like, great ones are weird. What a shocker. Amygdala. I'm sure there's some symbolic meaning of giving Amygdala the extra arm or whatever, right? But it's like, I don't think it's important enough to focus on. No, but these little particles in the air, they are. Oh, that just kind of, yeah. Okay, so it's as soon as I get off that staircase. You saw how it disappeared there. See? Just stops. You actually see some in the background here. And then they appear here. Oh, see? Boop. 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 So actually, it's not even when you get the staircase. Yeah, it's as soon as you get to about here. Look, I'm almost done with deep root notes. Oh, that's great, Nardi. That's great. Again, it's amazing to me, the low poly. Remember, chat, whenever you're playing a From Software title, don't look up, don't look down, don't look left, don't look right, never look behind you, only go on ahead. Only look on ahead. No, but like the particles are consistent. They keep them around. If I had to guess, it has to be. Like if I go up here. Yeah, they stop it here too. So yeah, I think they felt that it was weird if those particles existed in this bridge area, period. Yeah. Uh-huh. It doesn't have like a very obvious cut like the other one here, but it does stop basically here. There we go. So after DLC, the Crucible Knights being designed the way they are has a much more symbolic meaning. I peeped that spiral embroidery on the armor. I mean, the Crucible, I mean, it's always represented the Crucible stuff. With Ordovis's knights focusing more on the Godfrey aspect of that Age of Plenty, and Celeria focusing more on the Crucible Erdtree aspect, right? But yeah, there's nothing here. Okay. Okay, so good to know. And honestly, the fact that they keep this like watery docks area free of these particles, I can see why both logically and thematically they'd want to go with that. So let's go down here though now. Because if what Famitsu said is true, then this will reappear. Yeah. You saw that particle? There they go. So as soon as we're done with the sewage section, because keep in mind, that section exists all the way up till here, right? So as soon as you get up these stairs here, they bring back the particles. Yeah. And you see them, of course, everywhere here. All right, let's see about upstairs now. Oh, I should probably mention it. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Oh yeah, it's right. I can show you guys this. So it might be hard for you guys to spot. So these are like the Famitsu scans and stuff that have been worked on. No, not that one. That's not it. That's not it. Was it one of the earlier ones? No. 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 No, I know it's around here somewhere. No, not this one. Am I crazy? Oh, no, no, that's just talking about the hunters. I know I'm not crazy. I've read this. I found it. No, it's not there. No, this is way too late. This is DLC stuff. I must have missed. It was a small blurb on the side. I don't. Where is it? No, that's Cleric Beast. That's on the mob. Yeah, no, that's not it. Old Town, the Crowfeather Hunter, Forbidden Woods. No, yeah. That's just on the weapons. Ah, here it is. Here it is. Right here on Gascoigne. So you guys can see. Yeah, you guys can barely see this, but you can see the little thing there. A lot of weird shit in Deep Root Depths, especially in the Nameless Eternal City. Yeah, it's got some good stuff there. Anyway, is it on screen? Oh, I think it might be slightly cut off. Oh, that sucks. But basically, yeah, reading through, there's nothing else really interesting here. Okay, so basically, the important part is up here. Up here on that second line that is, I think, cut off for you guys, but it's, oh no, I think it's just barely on. Anyway, so here, it's clarifying how the graveyard, all these particles that we see, those are ash. And I was like, oh, well, okay. I did not realize this. I did not realize that this was a graveyard filled with ash. And then I thought, wait a second. Aren't those just the same particles we see throughout Yharnam? And yeah, it looks like they are. This is all falling ash that we're seeing here. It's finally revealed that all of Loki's lore is just a fever dream. No, I saw it. I found the blurb. I found the texts. The old texts. There we go. I found it. So, yeah, obviously nothing in here. Actually, wait a second. Let's go back down there real quick. I mean, technically this is indoors, so like, I just want to kind of make sure for the sake of... Yeah, nothing. Nothing. Wait. Up. I'm blind as a bat. Yeah, they keep it. Yeah, particles come back here. So as soon as you go through this gate... No, there's still particles here. Just not as obvious as when you're in the graveyard. But 100% stops once you're out here. Or in here, I should say. So point is... This is all supposed to be ash. That is burnt remains that are in the air. Which I find absolutely fascinating. Hey, Ami. Good old Amy. Yeah, you have more of the particles here? Okay. So all these particles, they're not just... I thought they were dust, you know? I really paid them no heed. But no, these little gray particles are supposed to actually be ash. Which is very clarifying. So is it from old Yharnam or is it from crematoriums? It's probably supposed to be representative of all the burning and stuff that's happening on this beast night. Like all the people and beasts that are being burned to cinders, you know? They're all being burned to ash by the mob and the healing church and stuff. Like for example, we had some of those hunters, the Tumerian hunters in black here, right? With the crucifixes and stuff. I could highlight the ash stuff there. But yeah, like it's just kind of crazy to me. It's like, oh, ash. And I just never realized it because I always just took it for granted. But no, if it's a light gray particle, it's not like a lighting thing or anything. Like that's actually supposed to be ash particles, not dust. And it stops as soon as you exit Cathedral Ward because there's no hunting and burning and shit that's happening here. Fascinating. So yeah, I want to now run through here real quick and kind of just confirm where's all the ash. Because this is kind of important. Also, another side thing that I was actually very interested in, because again, I was doing data collection one last time, and what ended up getting me on this crusade while I was doing it was actually reading this here on the Watchdog of the Old Lords. Because what this clarifies, can you guys see this one? Yeah, okay, the whole blurb is in here for you guys. So it might be a little hard to see. Yeah, here we go. So this is the thing that got me. So this talks about how yeah, it's a watchdog. It refers to as a special quote-unquote watchman. Because get it, it's a dog, but you know, it's still a watchman for the they're trying to be like, get it. Kind of like the keeper of the old lords, that's a watchman, and this is the watchdog, right? So anyway, the point is like it's a special watchman that was personally left by the inhuman ones who rest in the ruins. Or the labyrinth, if you prefer the localized term. So this is telling us that so it's already stated for the keepers of the old lords that their armor set mentions how they are the oldest of the they're the oldest watchmen, quote unquote, right? And this one says a similar thing here. It's a little awkward to translate because they use multimo here, which that basically means most. So this technically says like most old ones, right? Though we would just call it the oldest ones. But clearly they're trying to talk about like, yeah, there are like old ones here in these dungeons, but they're like they're the extremely old ones, basically, right? So like these guys, they're like, you know, the idea is supposed to be that, you know, before the Tumerians were doing their shtick, the great ones, or the humans who became the great ones, were leaving behind these watchmen and watchdogs, which is interesting because the watchmen, or women, I guess you could technically say, right? Because they got like the witch's hat, the feminine figure. One of them is internally called Carla before we had Dark Souls 3's Carla the witch. So like it's very obvious what they're going for there. But they're supposed to be sinners, according to them. Now, I don't think the dog is probably a sinner. I think they, you know, they're just like, hey, Fido, I want you to protect my body in the afterlife. Literally afterlife. But with this here, yeah, because this one's basically just talking about how like it's got like this you know, a withered and decayed fossil like body that's, you know, wrapped in these very thick. You could, you know, usually when you use this for flames, you're talking about like intensity of heat too, right? So like when it's talking about like thick flames, it's really talking about like, oh, these are super searing hot flames, right? They also describe the flames later. Where's yeah, here they describe them as like blazing flames as well. So yeah, we have this idea that's like obviously this giant watchdog that's protecting the underground ruins, which is clad in these like very thick flames, you know, with its like fossil, you know, It's got this fossilized body covered, which makes sense, right? You know, like it's been burning so long, it's essentially become like this charcoal little fossil thing, right? Like just basically turned into petrified, you know, wood, essentially, kind of that same idea. Right? And the idea, of course, is the flames are supposed to, you know, the reason why it's been like essentially enwreathed in these flames is so that way it can, you know, forever, zutto, so it may ever assume its duties, right? So taking all this together, reading this, I was like, okay, that actually gives some clarification, because I was willing to move the timeline for these guys to being to when the Tumerians are trying to establish their civilization potentially, right? And I wasn't paying too much heed to them being called, you know, watchdog, you know, the old lord's watchdog, the old lord's watchman, right? I'm just like, oh yeah, well, you know, they're doing the watching of the lords. But no, they really kind of mean like, no, like they're the ones responsible for creating these. This is theirs, right? You know, it's not like here where it's like, oh, it's they call these the watchers, but this is really protector or keeper would probably be better, like fire keeper almost, right? So this would be like the keeper ritualist, right? Because this is the term here is being used to simply describe it being like, oh yeah, it's a ritualist who is a keeper, or you know, this is a keeper of the ruins, right? Noah's a very fascinating little article. You can have a lot. I'm sure it's a fun thing to learn in a Japanese class, but this is the old lords or the masters, the owners watchdog. So that's something where it's like, oh, I was not giving enough credence to this here. I'm glad I read this to have the extra clarification, because like, yeah, that's actually very significant, because then it actually helps narrow down what could possibly be the sin that the women were committing that were causing them to be turned into these, you know, ashen watchmen type thing. And then there's also, of course, just like the general vibe of having like these lost arts technology of like, you know, that was clearly apparently originating from good old Is it a normal dog or a beast? It doesn't clarify. I mean, technically all dogs are beasts, same with crows, right? But like if we're talking about like a beast, you know, like the beast that like the lycanthrope type beasts, right? The man turned into beasts. It is not clear. It does not clarify. It just says it's a watchdog, and it just has quote unquote watchmen because it's not really human, it's a dog, right? It's just using that term because clearly, as we see in the actual game, there's actual watchmen as well. Yeah, no particles here. No particles here. Ah. There we go. Ah. Beautiful. All right. Woo! All right, so... Oh, really? It's the first time I'm getting that there? Okay. Okay, for a second I was like, wait, is there the shortcut, or am I gonna fall to my death? No, I'm not falling to my death, thank God. All right, I think it's gonna be the same here, but let's just confirm. Is it a normal dog or a beast? Very much, I think, you know, giving it a little more thought, Xavier, I think it's probably a normal dog. I think it's probably a normal dog that's been, you know, purified. Because the whole point seems to be to use the flames to purify their blood so they don't get corrupted into beasts, right? There we go. And I imagine if it's anything like Dark Souls, with how, you know, the dogs, if they feed on hollows, they end up, you know, naturally taking on the curse themselves, right? Even though they're not human and they don't have a dark sign, you know, eat curse, you know, you are what you eat, curse flesh. I imagine the same would be true with animals and stuff that might feed on the blood of a beast, or corrupted blood in general. which makes even more sense because, as we may recall, the watchmen, right, the keepers of the old lords, we often find them bringing around those hunting dogs, like those are their hounds, right? And those hounds have like horns like we see with beasts and extra long tongues, which we can also see with certain beasts, right? And they breathe fire. So clearly they've been applied with some fire. So I think that's a case of dogs which were turning into beasts that were given that purification. I just think it would add an extra layer to the pun of calling them watchmen. Oh, I agree. I think it's a neat idea. I just don't think it's I think that's not what they're going for there. I think they're just trying to get across how like they're supposed to be they're supposed to essentially be like, you know, the guards, right? But they're like, you know, they're not really men, they're dogs, but we don't want to use the term watchdog again. Because I think, if I recall, like, they use it when they describe it as like a giant watchdog, and then they're later, yeah, right? Say in VC and stuff. Actually, you know what? For this, because I'm feeling generous today, I will hop into VC myself. So, I will do that. Let me just get back to the hunter's dream first, and then I'll hop on. I'm feeling generous with you guys in chat, and kind of want to just like talk a bit. All right, come on, come on. But yeah, no, because there's no burning happening here. Alrighty. Here we go. Alright, and this takes us to the back to his mummy, so. Alright. And then we'll find the. Yeah, it's got the little nightmare effect too. Yep, everything's kosher. Alright. There we go.
You're feeling generous? Wow. Whoa.
Whoa. Wise guy.
That's so fucking... Man, gotta kiss the ground Loki walks on real quick. Jesus Christ.
I'm feeling generous today.
Shine on me, peasants. Shine on me. Like,
listen,
oh,
you're
God.
the one who's always begging me to get on to VC sometimes.
I'm not even begging. I'm just like, Loki, join VC. And then you for me. And I'm just like, all right, fuck me, I guess. And I just
She demands more than she begs, really.
It's more just like a demand.
Help me.
It's more like an idle threat. It's a begging situation. Dude, Deep Root Depths has a lot of weird shit in it. And I'm not talking about like the little, okay, obviously we know the little graveyard area on like the cliff edge over there. Yeah, cool. They kind of just washed up there. Whatever. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
However, can I just say that the only place I have found the fucking Newman runes has been in that one cave with all the ants? And that's it?
I think there's also an Ainsel, right? Like, doesn't Ainsel also have like an ant that
They don't drop Newman runes. They drop smaller ones, but both of them drop the rune arcs.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but like every single... Okay, you know, what I didn't realize, right, was the blue stripes around the thorax is actually like it expands. It's like the fleshy part of their body.
Yeah, it's their social stomachs expanding.
Yeah, and like I didn't realize that until I got in there and I looked at them and then I looked at the regular ants. I'm like, oh, ew.
A social stomach, so that's what the kids call it these days.
Yeah, it's not. I'm an antisocial stomach myself.
Okay, so what that's referring to is they have an extra stomach for storing food to barf into other ants' mouth to share resources.
Oh,
God.
good to know. I thought they were just pregnant.
Yeah,
that's what the honeypots ants are for. They're massive storage banks. That's all their life is. This is store food for the other ants.
Well, to be fair...
Okay, is it the fully grown ants or like the juvenile, like larva ants?
It's the grown ones. The ones that you find in the little egg tunnel.
Yeah. I just wanted to confirm because I'm like, I just figured they were preggers, so...
I mean, I think they're
honeypot ants.
Well,
I always thought they were because, like, it's in the egg tunnel and they're, like, in a group surrounded by what looks like attendants. And and you know they kind of don't defend themselves. The
Yeah,
attendants.
I thought that was just like an ant queen type situation, but I guess that makes sense why there's like 5 of them in like a group. So
True. It could also just be a really big hive. I don't really know.
So
Colony
again, I'm not too
hive.
familiar with ants, so I'll take Xavier's word for it that that's just like, oh, you know, some,
I think it's
some are
fun.
born to be workers, some are born to be barf feeders.
I think it's fun that they mix a bunch of different special traits from different ant species, such as the ones with the shield heads.
Yeah.
Those are
Loki's in
super
the
majors
chat?
from
I know,
an
it's
ant,
feeling
different ant
generous.
species. And how they work is that they use their big flat heads to block doorways, and they act as doors.
So I also just did a quick Google search. Ant colonies can in fact have set like upwards of 100 different queens, all in the same colonies.
Oh,
So
cool.
Yep.
yeah, so I think it's like one of those 2-for-1 type deals.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, the only place you find them is in that little cave, and everywhere else it's like you have anything ranging from a golden rune 1 to a golden rune 8 outside, like even in the Nameless Eternal City, especially in the Nameless Eternal City, actually.
How come in our golden rune oh, okay, so golden rune 1s, we're talking about like actual loot and stuff, not like the random skulls, right?
Yeah, we're talking like actual loot you find on bodies, and they're pretty common in Limgrave, and then as you progress, you manage to find like higher status runes. The problem is that Newman runes, Heroes runes, and the like Lord's runes, for instance, are all considered to be like rare types. They're more of like an indicator that hey, something important was here. The problem
generally
is
the Lord runes, we see them in areas associated with certain demigod to kind of give the idea that, oh, this was a Tarnished who had a destiny to be this Lord, this demigod's, Elden Lord or whatever, right? So we see them in places like, we'll see one in Farum Azula, where the Queen of Farum Azula would have theoretically been. Or you'd see them, of course, like, I don't know, in Mohg's area, because that's where, what's he called? Mikola and stuff, because the Empyrean and all that stuff. So, like, we definitely get the idea that, like, the Lord's runes are in very specific locations. We get one from that goddamn, Erd Tree Avatar who drops down from the actual Erd Tree where Radagon is imprisoned.
There's also one of the rotten Erd Tree avatars in Halleck Also drops.
Yeah.
Same thing, because the whole Millennia Mikola. I think I think you get 2 of them specifically there, so there's one for each twin.
Well, there's at least
no.
3
One of them drops the
rotted.
Hero's rune, and then the other drops the Rotten Staff. Just like in Landau, where the underground one drops the staff, and the surface one drops the rune.
I mean the Lord's runes. I think there's 2 Lord's runes you can get there, or maybe it's like in the Snowfield and the Halig Tree. I have to double check.
Let me check my notes.
I know
real
there's
quick.
like a
Pull out my
really big
notes.
consumable pickup in the Halig Tree somewhere in Elfile. I can't remember which one.
There's Newman runes on the canopy. Let's see. Rock grease. Ugh.
Is there one like down where the Revenant shit is that no
Yeah,
one goes
there's
to?
a Heroes rune for.
Maybe it's the 2 Heroes runes I'm remembering then.
There's Heroes rune. Well, there's also
Perhaps.
something else where the fucking like you said. What do you call them? Damn things. Revenants. Hate them. Yeah, I don't pay attention to them assholes. You do find a lot of somber ancient dragon smithing stones.
Right.
Yeah, you find a lot of those. I haven't really finished through Elfile yet. I'm picking my way through because it's a pain in the ass, even
for
at
sure.
a high
It's
level.
endgame. It's endgame. You can take your time. Like,
It's actually scaled post game. Actually, it's scaled past the final boss.
oh, we're good. Good to know.
Huh.
So technically you could. So technically, you could beat Radagon, complete the game, and then before going to New Game Plus, you would technically be expected to finally get to Elphael, huh?
Yeah. Or you get there, realize, oh, this is super hard, and then you eventually go back after being the final
either
boss.
way,
yeah,
that's when they're expecting you to actually, go after it.
Yeah, I think Mohg's era is also scaled post game.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that they would have all the optional stuff kind of scaled essentially the same way as DLCs and past games were. That makes sense to me.
What's the super weird instance of high scaling? Is it the catacomb that's like way back in the back of the arena you fight Radon in.
Oh, yeah, that one has super weird scaling.
Isn't that like Haligtree scaling in the, or is that Dragon Barrow scaling, which is
Wait,
I do
for,
not
like
know.
the place with the one little catacomb and that's it? In the Wailing Dunes or
Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah, where
Yeah.
you pick up collapsing stars.
That's so funny to me. Like, that one catacomb essentially gets that scaling because it's just that in Radon. I don't think that, yeah, there's no other enemies there at any point as far as I know.
Yeah, because it has all the like ghosts and shit, and then you fight, I think, a rotted, ulcerated tree spirit, and I think, is that the Redmane Oga summon that it drops?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where you get Oga.
Okay. It's a very strange area.
Yeah, lore-wise, it's pretty straightforward, but that scaling thing definitely throws me off. Just odd choice. Maybe they did it because of the boss fight there. Like, I'll be honest, I don't remember that
Maybe.
catacomb feeling particularly difficult.
Yeah,
I mean, you're the magic man.
well,
I mean, the most annoying thing about it is just like the line of like endless, like, you know, what was it, like gravity bowmen or whatever who shoot at you. Like, that's the most
Yeah.
obnoxious part. That's more so a setup problem than like a level scaling
'cause-
problem.
yeah, the ghosts mostly just fight each other. And then there's like a couple of Redmane archers or something.
Yeah, and I don't remember them being
Welcome
particularly
back.
chunky or anything.
They do a shit ton of damage.
Maybe that's it. It's just the damage modifier that's really annoying. Yeah, so far, yeah, it's pretty consistent. There's no ash in the Forbidden Woods, not even in the village there.
Sir.
We also have... it's basically all over Cathedral Ward, except like that little side alley that the mob is taking. So overall, it's really looking... More poison knives, of course. Yeah, it's really looking like, yeah, they're just gonna like, okay, the Healing Church is doing some body burning around here. Yharnam mobs doing some body burning, as we see with the beast and the actual pyre and stuff. And they're just kind of using the ash to kind of give you a sense of all this unseen burning and stuff that's happening in the zone that you're not privy to. And then they're keeping it out of areas where they feel probably like, oh, it'll distract. Like, I can see I can see them doing that in the alleyway section with the mob, because like it's got all that fog and stuff, and they really want to emphasize, ooh, spooky alley with fog you have to go through, and oh, there's a big beastman guy that's like patrolling out. So
Oh no, I hope he doesn't spread my cheeks. Anyways.
Oh
So
my god.
the the real concern that I have with the golden runes is that like I said, it all ranges in size. Like, we jump from like 1s, 2s to like 8s and 9s. Where I don't even think, if I look back, I'm pretty sure if I look back at Shifra, it didn't even have that. Like, they didn't even have the golden rune ones.
yeah, that I'm actually interested in seeing a comparison with what you've collected in other areas, because I'm like, I just don't recall, you know, 1s and 2s being that common outside of the early areas like Limgrave, Weeping Peninsula. Maybe there could be 1 or 2 in Caelid to kind of establish the idea of, oh, some people wander in Caelid when they really shouldn't have. Like, I could see
My
maybe...
guess
Yeah, I could see something
would
like
be
that, but like...
to represent like different classes, because usually the small runes, they're like the peasants. And I know in the cut contents, when all the runes had different names, the ones were called paupers runes.
Yeah, again, it generally makes sense that obviously if you're like a generally weak person, you're probably like a common citizen, a peasant, a basic worker and stuff like that, right? A low class, not in that sense, but like of the lower class.
For a split second, Xavier, I thought you meant like poppers as in the drug. And I was like,
Oh,
what
yes,
the
yes.
fuck?
Like America's kinfolk are just doing poppers
I
down.
don't know
in the-
anything about drugs.
It's like
Good
ignore,
Lord.
ignore them, chat. We are not recommending drugs. This is a good Christian stream. Very, very.
Yeah.
All right, so
There's also dragon wound grease. Like this one guy had 1 block of dragon wound grease to make it count.
There's also a gravel stone great arrow, or what was it, a gravel
are
stone?
Dragonkin soldiers weak to
what's the
dragon
ball?
wound grease?
No, they are not dragons.
No.
Okay, just wanted to confirm because I'm like, that would be like the first thing. I'd be like, maybe it's kind of to allude, oh, you know, that Dragonkin soldier you fight downriver, you know, it's trying to kind of like help connect to the story there. But if they're not weak to that wouldn't really work. What
Another-
other dragons would be down there though?
Fortisax.
Fortisax.
Yeah, actually, that explains it. Yeah, Fortisax. It's
So there's just
foreshadowing.
this one asshole that came in and was like, I'm gonna beat Fortisax's ass.
Yeah. I actually made a point of that recently in my Lyrian Civil War. When you go to Smaragd's area, there's like a little, like, you know, his name is obviously inspired by Smog, right? You know, they just changed one. Miyazaki just changed one character in the name and made it Smaragd. But the name, like everything else about it is like consistent. Like the way you find him kind of resting, curled up on his like treasure hoard, which we see is just like the one, you know, that one guy who's probably a Celovus puppet who's like dealing in handing out keys to people so they can, you know, get in through a black market. And then you have along with it like these 2 extra bodies. One of them has dragon wound grease, where you're like, oh, that's a smart guy. He's like, oh, I'm gonna bring a thing that's actually good against dragons to eat dragons. And the other guy's got kukri, which is just, it's for bleed, and it's like, oh, so it's for a dumb guy who thought he's gonna fight against dragons. It's
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I just like that little dichotomy where it's like, okay, here's the smart way to do it, and here's the dumb way to do it. You're not gonna bleed.
The Dragon
thing
Grease
with a
guy was
hard,
the guy who was
scaly
gonna-
hide.
The Dragon Grease guy was the guy who was wanting to go to school.
The thing I mentioned earlier about the spiral pattern on the clothes of like the Celeria Knight, for instance. The reason I'm bringing that up is because I just looked at the Elven Stars incantation. That also has a spiral pattern on it. I don't know.
What do you mean by spiral pattern? As in,
It's like
The spiral motif is extremely common throughout
it
the game.
is. It is extremely common, and I'm just like, why the fuck am I only noticing this now? Also, hefty beast bones were found on a body. Here's the problem with that. There's no evidence, none, of any animals besides, I think, that one rune bear, right?
There's 2 rune bears.
2 rune bears, whatever. The point is that there's no other animals that could possibly drop that shit. Those 2 rune bears are still alive. So where the fuck are they getting these hefty beast bones from?
well, clearly
I'm
someone took the
scared.
3rd room bear.
I guess
They
so.
ate the other rune bear.
They ate
Oh
him.
yeah, they ate him.
Because one of them is like asleep in the cave, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, once.
And that's another thing.
Yeah.
I still gotta check in there too. I haven't been there yet. I'm scared.
Have you ever been on the top? I don't know how to describe it. But like if you go up the branch that leads to the area with the grace that's right behind the Fortisax arena,
Mhm.
if you turn right, there's this area you can get on top that has a hole that you drop down that eventually leads to the rune bear that's right next to.
Did we also ever discover what was going on with those like small amounts, those little hidden treasures of like nascent butterflies that were glowing? Did we ever figure that out yet? Or are we still?
No.
Why some of them glow
No.
versus others?
Yeah, because I found.
And then they decide to make a unique asset that has like the two species mixed together as one harvestable.
Hmm.
It's odd.
For sure.
Odd.
I don't
God,
like
I'm
it.
putting
Lord,
Nicola
then
on the
I
back
would-
burner.
I would probably just assume that it's
I don't
visual
blame you.
variants.
It'd be
But it's
ridiculous if they
only
did it
in the
specifically for
snowfield.
those and not for
Well,
some
not
of the
snowfield.
others, you
It's
know?
only on the mountaintops. All the other ones don't have it. It's only
Oh
the
no
mountaintops.
no, Xavier, you're wrong. There is
Really?
a group of them in Deep Root Depths. The only one. There's only one of them. The rest are normal, but they have one group that glows near
That's,
the edge of the cliff.
that's actually not surprising if they're trying to allude to how the water in Deep Root Depths comes from the mountaintops where the freezing lake is.
Can you send me a picture? I've never seen this.
My brother, I'm gonna have to go hunting for that. Give me a second.
Oh, okay. You don't have to if
Again,
it's
I'll
too
be
much
hopping
effort.
on to Elden Ring later, so I can go see it for myself. It's a respawning resource, right? So.
No,
No, those
no.
don't
Only the
respawn.
fire ones is respawning.
Okay, so hopefully I haven't looted it yet then. But yeah, I'll go.
Yeah,
I'll go heading to that area on Elden Ring in a while. So don't worry about it,
Yeah, 'cause
Nardi. We'll get it. We'll get it on stream. We'll do it live.
We'll get a live Loki reaction for the one.
guys!
Oh my god, guys, you're not gonna believe this! Look, I found
He does a YouTuber reaction to fucking butterfly.
I just take
'cause
my
I
avatar and I get
think-
like the big googly eyes, slap them on top of there, and stretch out the mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah, 'cause I
There we
think
go,
the
thumbnail.
nascent
Thumbnail.
butterflies do
Yeah, YouTube content
not
is easy, guys.
respawn. Yeah, the nascent butterfly pickups in the world do not respawn, but they can be farmed from like Clean Rot Knights and I think
Yeah.
Elfile.
Oh, really? So even more, make even more obvious the Mikla connection. Okay.
Let me double check that. It's either maybe I'm getting that mixed up with Trina
I-
Lilies.
I know that the Clean Art Knights and Elphiel specifically only drop Mikla lilies, but the Clean Art Knights everywhere else only drop Trina lilies.
That's crazy.
Are you sure? I thought they could drop both.
Maybe there's a place where they can drop both, but I farmed the ones around Aeonia, and I never got a single golden one. I only got Trinas.
That makes sense to me because that's also the part of the game where they still want to keep it a little subtle about the connection between Trina and Mikla.
Yeah,
And then
an idea
also
on that
the,
one.
The
Guys,
ones at
Stranger.
the-
The nascent butterflies can only be farmed from the ancestral follower shaman in the ancestral woods.
Oh,
Ha.
the woods,
Wonder why they
huh?
got the ancestral
Yeah.
woods.
There's apparently some in consecrated snowfield.
Yeah, you can find like
Yeah.
I think there's actually literally just one in the snowfield with like one or two
Oh.
like
Yeah.
regular guys.
It's praying to
Easy
like a corpse that has
farm.
one of the talismans that
Easy
shows it was a friend of them.
Rubs my hands together like a fly. Easy farm.
You mean like a
Easy
normal
farm.
corpse, Xavier, or?
Yeah, like no, it's a. I think it's a. What are they called? The sinner corpses with the hood.
Oh,
I think.
Oh, the guilty. Yeah.
I think. I haven't seen it in a while, but I think it has a guilty hood.
Yes. I love it when my criminals escape into the wilds of the mountaintops and end up kind of
And then make
powwowing with
friends.
the natives.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh. Let me see what else we got here on my fun little list of
All right.
goodies.
So surprisingly enough, Hemwick does not have ash in the air.
They
Very
are not
surprising.
smoking the good stuff.
They're not
They
burning
are-
enough bodies apparently.
No, they're just properly ventilating.
No, it's kind of surprising. Maybe Teen says right. Maybe it's just the open air. Right there by
They got
the
those
ocean. The
special
ocean breeze just picks up all
smokeless,
the ash and
corpse
takes
piles.
it away.
They got the special smokeless corpse piles.
That's right.
All those pipes and stuff. They're really doing the work. Maybe they're just that thorough. They burn them so far that there's not even ash left. It's all like just little microscopic dust particles.
They got them good air filters.
Not like mine when I just turn on my heater.
All the
My
witches got
God.
asthma. they have to build it specifically.
Oh yeah, they got.
Yeah, they're
lung
old. They
diseases
need
for
all
yards.
the support they can get. Listen, ancient arcane magics through human sacrifice can only get you so far.
How much are we willing to bet that if they could market it, the Healing Church would have probably made the old blood into a fucking inhaler for people with asthma?
Hell yeah.
100%.
Like
no, they just
albuterol.
They'd be like,
that.
listen, you don't like needles? It's okay. We have this Hancy Dancy blood treatment inhaler.
oh,
They
gross.
do actually have a
Father Gascoigne shaking it
epinephrine
and going.
inhalable spray thing now,
Oh my god.
which is really cool, actually.
Uh-huh.
I used to have the albuterol ones, the little red and white ones. Good god.
Yeah, I mean, I have one of those, but no, it's like it's like a nasal spray version of like your your like emergency allergy shot, which is very good for children, especially.
Yeah,
Because
the
Yeah.
show Embers
And me.
stuff coming out of the
Reactions.
spouts of their little like coffin crematorium things. Right? And they have the pyres and things for like little campfires and stuff around. But no ash in the air, so.
Yeah.
Mm,
In fairness, okay, so in fairness, they are
Mhm.
showcasing how the women and the men and all that, like they're obviously turning into beasts, but they're not like, you know, they're not all fully beast. There's not a lot of signs of them being fully beastified or anything. And they're trying to keep outsiders out because they're blaming them for their troubles. So you could definitely make the case that they haven't yet started culling their own beyond what we already see with all the bodies and stuff that are like hanging and things like that, right? So I can definitely see the argument being like they're not in beast hunting mode yet. They're just kind of in you know, cull the herd mode. So I can kind of see the potential where it's like, okay, we're gonna do this in Cathedral Ward and in Central Yharnam, but we're not gonna do it here in Hemwick because we already got all the overt burning and stuff like that. So the question then now is, does Old Yharnam have this? I mean, technically it's right under Central, so in Cathedral Ward.
I
right?
mean, the whole place is like burnt. I'd be disappointed if it doesn't have ash in the air.
You could make an argument though, like
Well,
it's an
it's
old
not-
ruin and stuff like that. Yeah, so let's see. I
Yeah,
take
it's
the
not
I
like-
got out of the Hemwick. I'm back in Cathedral Ward, and yeah, as soon as I step up the staircase, we have the ash in the air again.
Oh, I also found clarifying boluses, which is a little funny.
Yeah, that makes sense because you get stuff as you go down from the madness area and stuff here, so it's like, you know, going downstream.
Oh,
as
what
it were.
boluses?
The clarifying, the ones for anti-madness.
Yeah, my normal pill moss. That's I found that.
Yeah, that's because you know, the tomb is like just a little bit upstream.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yummy.
Just gotta take a quick elevator ride up. Uh-huh. Alright, so now I just gotta go this way to get to the lower church. No, yeah, this is fascinating because this is gonna be, now I'm gonna be like having to look at Yharnam and Healing Church and see how I can incorporate this stuff into those. It's you know, it could be a small mention probably, but still, it's, you know, it's worth kind of including because it's a neat detail. No, okay, yeah, it is here in the air. Just not as heavy. Yeah, I wonder how they make it. Like, there must be, like, a density setting they have for how, like, thick they make it. They're like, okay, we'll make it, like, a little bit here, you know, thicker here. Because in Gascoigne's, like, you get in the actual Gascoigne arena, it's like, holy hell, there's so much ash raining down. Thank you, Famitsu. I love you. I love you. I love you. Best
Oh,
magazine.
you're still streaming. Okay. I didn't realize you were still streaming.
Of course I'm streaming.
No, he's just talking to himself.
Yeah. I'm just going
yeah,
crazy.
just yapping.
I need some of those
You're the
clarifying
voice in your
boluses,
head.
please. Please hand them over. My boluses.
No, I need those more
No.
than you. I'm sorry.
No, you need your coffee boluses to stave off sleep. You need to be doing
Hand it
more,
over
Lord.
to
Oh, I
that
see.
thing.
A 24-hour stream. Let's
Your
go.
clarifying boluses.
I mean, well, last time I tried to do an extra long stream, YouTube like cut it at like 6 hours or something. I forget whatever the cut.
Oh yeah, they do that.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's
unfortunately,
weird.
they don't allow it. So we actually have to do Twitch. Which, oh boy.
You'd have to record the whole thing and then edit it into multiple parts.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. It's totally a live stream. 24-hour stream. Let's go.
I mean, you record it while you're streaming it.
Let me see. Let me go find the rune bear.
All right,
Go
there
fight.
is there's no ash, at least on the upper level. Old Yarnum has no ash.
Oh, really?
That tracks. I mean, it's been burned a hot minute ago.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a hot minute ago, which is why I was like, I
But
wouldn't be
there's no
surprised if it
fires.
didn't. But it's just kind of funny because they still have the still burning beasts on crucifixes and stuff. It's just kind of funny where it's like, ah, yes, the endlessly burning beast on the crucifix. Like, God, old Yarnum is so scuffed.
Oh, we knew that. Yarnum itself is scuffed, but old Yarnum especially.
I mean, okay, so like Yarnum at the very least, I'm like, okay, I can if I squint my eyes, I can believe the illusion of what they're going for. I can forget how you have like literal fencing blocking the front doors and stuff, right? But like I come to old Yarnum and like I'm like, okay, if I like squint really hard from like a mile away, then I can see the vision. But it's definitely one of those things where it's like, okay, the town which was burned, and they literally have piles of still smoking corpses that beasts are hiding in. It's just one of those things where like clearly they were like, okay, how the hell are we supposed to show this place is burned when we already made the full city and the city looks like 90% not burned except for the church?
It's like the trolls still hanging out in the Lindale battlefields after the shattering.
Yeah, the nobles are still like picking through all the corpses and stuff that have been left out. It's like, guys, come on. It's been years. It's been like a decade or something. How are you still doing this?
These gargoyles are
Empty,
fucking
desecrated wastelands don't make for the best video game experiences.
Yeah, for sure. Like, God, you know, we can't really convey the story of this past if everything was cleaned up afterwards. I just have to rationalize it that Morgott is so busy with his little campaign against Rykard that he just hasn't devoted the resources to clean up the existing battlefield.
Well, not only that, but like, look at Leyendale's rooftops. You look at those rooftops and you tell me where the money's going, because I happen to think it's not going towards cleanup on the battlefield.
Listen, I don't think
no.
anyone's been paying their taxes for a hot minute. I think they're just under martial law at this point.
I don't think any of the nobles are paying taxes. The fuck is a tax?
What?
I also love how like Godric's forces are still like scattered about there. It's like Morgott, you're doing an entire campaign against Rykard, and you still have pockets of resistance from Godric's army just up and about. Like you haven't even cleared those out yet. Like my man, you're stretching yourself too thin. You're throwing your people to die in the meat grinder for nothing.
And then he has the booby trap left specifically for you.
Yeah, just the common citizen that's out there with like there, and he's like, okay, I'll be able to you know just teleport into the battle whenever I want, and it's like, oh, just conveniently had the one guy still alive and out there during the cleanup, huh? Like the two skeleton crew on staff. Oh yeah. All right, so yeah, I'm surprised yet not surprised that old Yarnum has no ash. It's one of those things where I'm like, I totally could have believed it if they did, but I'm also not totally unexpected that they didn't, you know? All right, so let's see, anywhere I missed? Grand Cathedral, the Tomb, the Bridge, Forbidden Woods, Bergenworth, Hemwick, Yahar Ghul, you know what? Fuck it, Canehurst. You never know.
I love my
I love a lot of bodies in Canehurst, you know, to keep warm. Oh my God, guys, there's particles in the air, and it's probably snow. It's very obviously snow because it's thinner than the other particles.
Canehurst was a very cold name.
It's funny because in Elden Ring, most of the flying particles is just leaves recolored. Even the snow is just leaves recolored.
Hell yeah, everything is programmed as minions.
Wait, even the magic particles?
Yes.
I think so, yeah. Even the silver particles in one of the Nox cities.
There's like 3 kinds of particle effects in Elden Ring. There's leaves. There's like little sparkles, and then there's like crystals.
It's amazing to me that they. It's amazing to me that they go to the effort to like port in like a bunch of assets from their old games for them to reuse. And apparently, copying over particle effects was too difficult.
Not even Night Rain with Nameless King's Sunlight Lightning.
Again, that I can kind of understand because then it complicates, like, okay, now you have to create a separate lightning or whatever and make it its own visual effect or whatever. Like, I could see wanting to be like cut corners there and not create like, you know, I'm sure it would be like it'll be like of the level of difficulty of like creating like red lightning or something for them. So I'm sure they want to just keep that simple. I kind of get it.
Or fire lightning.
Or yeah, like or fire lightning or something like that, right? Like. I feel like I can kind of get what they're going for there, right? But the leaves thing, it's like, isn't it less work just to port in the effect? Like, it's the same engine. Like, it shouldn't be that hard, right? Like, isn't Elden Ring, correct me if I'm wrong, literally based on Dark Souls 3's source code or whatever? Like, that's like kind of like the basis. So like, it's all the same stuff.
Same engine except Dark Souls 2. Yeah, all of them are the same engine except Dark Souls 2.
So, like, all of it, like, do you even need to port anything, or should it all just already be there, basically? All right, so we're switching over to Elden Ring now, chat.
Ask the resident modder.
Yeah, no boy.
No boy.
The Brazilian.
Oh, I found the bear cave.
Oh. I still think it's very funny that I called Flame Lightning like in the first couple of months that I started joining your streams.
There you go. Okay. Okay. So repeat that again for everybody. Xavier, I had you on mute.
Oh, I said I still think it's very funny that I called Flame Lightning a couple of years ago when I first joined your streams.
Flame Lightning. I do not remember that. That has been quite a long time.
Yeah. I was talking about all the like recolored elements and stuff. I was like, I wonder if they'll do flame lightning or fire lightning.
Right. And well,
they did.
They also did frozen lightning too. So I mean,
listen, if lightning. Oh, sorry about that. I accidentally. Okay, yes. But as I was saying, if lightning can freeze, why can't it burn?
Yeah.
All right, which character are we? Oh God, I will trust Shishinki.
Shishinki.
Yay! All right, now, wait.
Oh.
Wait, why is it not? It's not showing Elden Ring on the screen. There we go. Okay. Now it is. I was just confused for a second. Phew. All right. Oh, you know what? I forgot to get my ×5 speed. I feel naked.
You're naked?
I'm naked. I'm naked on stream. What does the world come to? Also, this is me testing out a new cable that I bought because I was tired of the old one being broke and stuff, and the electric tape fell off, and it was a whole fiasco. So I got a new cable, so we're gonna see if this does its job. I have not unlocked Deep-Root Depths on Shishinki. Well, unfortunately, you're fired.
Prince of Death Sis dropped by one of the room bears.
Again, not crazy. I can imagine the room bear is in fact eating people who are worshipping the Prince of Death.
Oh, I just kind of assumed it was nibbling off of Godwin's corpse.
That too.
That too. That could work. I mean, hey, it's still eating someone who's worshipping death, I guess.
God, that's nasty. Also, have we ever figured out what's going on with the gargoyles down here? What's the deal with that? The millions of
America occupying the city with her forces and stuff like that, especially after Godwin. Like, you could probably make a case whether or not she would have those things beforehand, but afterwards it's like, yeah, she's probably like sending a few of those to be like, you know, the gravekeeper to her favorite son or whatever.
quote unquote favorite son. Yeah, I feel that.
Isn't there like a fucking storehouse or some shit in the Nameless City? Just a bunch of those things
Yes,
laying
there
around?
is. There is. It's in like a
Okay.
little cathedral area, and there's like one living perfumer
Just seems-
gargoyle.
No, yeah.
Incredibly
Estelle
disrespectful.
did a number to all of them, so the only ones that we see survive are the boss twin gargoyle ones that we fight, you know, downstream.
Yeah.
I like how Celira also decided that after like the city gets destroyed, she's just gonna like squat in like freaking a tree hollow and be like, you know what, I'm happy staying here, you know, being one with
Yeah, and then
nature.
she gets naked. She puts all her clothes in the chest, by the way, and then you
No,
beat
the
her.
armor is actually just her natural look. Like, you know, that's actually just her naked.
Yeah,
That's some
that's
real
just how
shit
she
right
looks.
there.
Lightning Great Bolt. Okay, all right. Who the hell is beating the shit out of my man Fortisax? Like, what?
I told you that was there.
Himself.
The Golden
Himself,
Order
no, you're-
fundamentalists, obviously. Like a few of them finally found their way up here. You think they aren't gonna immediately jump at that booty?
You're so right. Although Godwin's booty these days look a little. Ow! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Lucio, get away from me! Get away from me! Get away!
All right, so where is this? Where is this glowing bug thing? The glowing butterfly.
You could not sound less interested if you tried. Give me 1 second. I'm getting my.
No, this is gonna be for my reaction. Clearly, I am amazingly enthused.
He's powering up right now.
Well, we're clip farming, I see.
This is what he sounds like every time I tell him a fun fact.
The immediate
for the
sigh.
content.
Hey, it's a Loki stream. I died.
Yeah, get wrecked.
That's okay.
All right.
You'll
No,
do it several more times.
Yeah, don't. Now that I fall into my death in hilarious faction and confirmed that I'm not an imposter, where is the butterfly, Nardi? Do you have it in your notes, the exact location?
Okay, it should be on the. Let's see. Not name. It's not anywhere near the Nameless City. Side of Grace. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Scrolling up. It's near the Great Waterfall Crest, but I think it's like on the outskirts of the Nameless Eternal City.
So like
It
when you're
should
heading
be-
to toward the ants.
Yeah, it's found near a pack of ants on the southwest cliff against a giant root.
On the
That is
south-
where I put it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, I
let's
have
see.
a vague idea of that. So let's go check it around there.
I didn't feel like writing a paragraph to immediately point out which where it's at, but it shouldn't be too far away. Let me see. I think it's when you're like.
Assuming I haven't looted it already, and I may or may not have on this character. I don't remember, obviously. We can. You said it's next to the route, right? On the southwest cliff.
Yeah, it's near a giant pack of ants.
Yeah, I'm in that spot, so I just need to. Fortunately, because they are small, might not be something I immediately spot. No.
Clarify, Nardi. This
So-
has the bright blue texture.
The bright blue texture, yes. It's also like a glowing sphere. The only reason I noticed it is because it was literally glowing against the tree bark. So I was like, oh, that's weird. What is that? And I got a little bit closer. I'm like, oh.
So
Oh,
is
there's a
it at
butterfly.
the precipice? Like it's right there at the cliff's edge, or?
Yeah. Let me see.
'Cause I'm
Actually,
trying to make sure, 'cause-
I'm right next to where it's at. Okay, let me send a picture.
I'm trying to make sure because I remember that there's one that has a glowing blue aura around it, but doesn't have the texture.
Well, I
Okay,
guess we'll see
so-
for ourselves.
You know where the wet nurse is?
Yeah.
Okay, go east of where that is. Like
Yeah, I'm already east of her.
go. Okay, so you keep going east. You follow the
Past the flying
cliffside.
ants, I assume.
No. Okay, there's like nearby. When you get close, there's gonna be an ant that pops up out of the ground. You keep going a little bit further south, like southeast. You're gonna see like a patch of formic rock and 3 ants. and then on the stone slab next to it, on the right side, that's gonna be where you find the butterflies. Watch, let me send a picture.
I think I might have looted it then because
Yeah, it's let's see.
I don't see it because I'm at the cliff's edges. I've been looking around. I'm not seeing either a glow or the butterfly around. It's not around the corner from the tree, is it?
Hold on. Where the fuck are my screenshots?
All right, let me switch character just to be sure.
Are you on PS4 or 5,
PC.
whatever it is? Okay, you're on PC. Cool. I'm gonna send it.
It might be on my Oonga Boonga character. Let's see. All right, so we're at the crone. Right. So let's go to that cliff on the east from her, on that side, you know.
I wish I had not picked them up. Oh my god. This would have made my life so much easier.
I'm like pretty sure that the one there doesn't have the glowing texture. It just has like the light around it.
Either way, it's worth documenting because like how many have the glow but not the texture versus those that do. Yeah, I don't see it here either. I mean, I have to assume it's in a very obvious like spot when you're traveling over here, just because.
Like I spotted it from literally several yards away. Like I'm riding on Torrent. I happen to look over. I see this blue little glow against like the tree bark, and I'm like, oh,
and it's 100% at the cliff's edge, right? Like you would fall, like you would definitely fall if you're not careful on that area, right?
Yeah. In fact, I sent a screenshot of like kind of what it looks like, minus the ants.
Yeah.
In the Elden Ring chat, if you want to take a look at that.
Yeah, let me look at that real quick, just so I can get an idea what the hell we're looking at here.
It's just past the flying ants, and then you take an immediate left, and it's between two roots.
Is it where this like tree stump thing is? Like, is this what we're talking about here? So like.
Can you see?
Like, is it on the water? Or no, it's not on the water from where you're standing. No, so it has to be.
Actually, let me just get on your stream real quick. Let me go look at your stream. Make this easier on all.
I'm 30 seconds behind on your side, so you're gonna get delays. Oh wait, I found him.
Good.
It's a very okay. So it's not okay. So when you said root, I thought you meant like the actual like root kind of things that create the paths and stuff, right? Not like the big towering like trunk-like roots. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I referred to the trunk-like roots as roots.
That's fine. It's just I misunderstood what you were kind of meaning because I mentally I just like register that as like like a trunk. So. But
yeah, that's fair.
I don't know which texture they have, but God, it's so crazy how like they're like actually like because they look so blue when they're just fluttering, but when you look, there's like no, these are like translucent.
Yeah, I don't understand why they have the glow while the others don't. Like if you look around, the other ones do not have that glow.
Yeah, Xavier, you're seeing on my stream here?
Let me see. It's not there yet. Yeah, that's not it. The bright blue ones, they have a solid texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, these definitely have like an almost translucent look to them.
God, my voice sounds weird on stream. Okay, it's gonna drive me nuts listening to that.
You sound perfectly fine, Nardi.
All right, so let's I mean, the only thing I can think of, it's because the water's nearby, because they're so commonly associated with water.
Maybe. Also, the water being this weird, murky, purple gray is just so off-putting to me.
We've established
that out.
It's always a death root type thing.
Yeah.
It
So like all
milk.
the it's kind of milky. But yeah, it's around like all the mariners and like the Deathblight crab, like it's basically
It's three
yeah,
areas,
it's
I
just
think.
associated
It's
with death.
Deep-Root Depths. I think it's also, let me double check. I think it's also the Water Village, right?
The Stillwater
Yes.
Village.
I think it's also the Storm Village, and
Yeah, it's here, yeah.
the
And then, I think there's also the one by the Artist Shack in Liurnia, right?
yeah
The graveyard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's generally wherever Mariners are. I don't remember if they have it in the DLC, though.
I don't remember. I don't think there's still water near him. I think he's like riding on a river.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if the... Because I'm really thinking of the Deathbird Red-Blue graveyard area. No, yeah,
No,
they have the Milky stuff here.
He's in the Karo's Hidden Grave.
Yeah. I'm going there now. Karo's Hidden Grave. I know it's not Cerulean Coast because there's no like lakes or anything there.
No, but it's
I
crazy.
immediately called my dad!
Good rip.
That rip.
I don't like him anyways.
Rebozo. Oh well, it's okay. I'm Loki's uncle. Yickle.
Ew.
Yickle. Oh.
I see normal water. It's all normal water here.
I love
It
how
might
you
be
can.
because
Yeah, he's
Oh.
just rowing through a normal ass water.
it might be because it's not like Deathblight water. It's more like how it's supposed to be instead of like the glitchy rune of death that is Deathblight.
Maybe. But they have those who live in Death Rising from these graves still, so I'm not sure. And they also have the parasite insect thing with the Gravekeeper. So
God, Godwin's corpse scares the shit out of me.
it might be just trying to. It might be trying to convey that it's not as extensive, maybe. Because we only really see Godwin's corpse in like the catacomb areas and the Erdtree roots and stuff. So the argument might be being made that the Erdtree roots haven't spread as extensively during the time that this stuff gets taken out of the realm of shadow.
Actually, I have a question. I'm gonna go and pose it real quick.
Oh, is the Milky stuff in Bar Missoula at like that? I don't think so, right?
What I'm worried about is if it's in the stone coffin fissure. Let me see.
The fissure where Trina is, right?
Yeah, I wonder if it's like a similar color because everything there is like lavender color.
I don't recall.
I don't think. I think it's just the corpse goop, the corpse jelly that's everywhere.
Yeah, so it's like a dark purplish blackish stuff, but
It's actually kind of like oil. It has like a little bit of the iridescent oil shine to it.
Okay.
My cat sitting next to me like a gargoyle. Come here, boy.
Give them lovin's. Give the baby lovin's.
All right.
Let me see.
There we are. All right. I should just use the camera instead of trying to jump around.
Yeah, no, it's got like an oily sheen. Still purple though. The purple haze throws me off.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the putrescence, right?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Beautiful arena though. My God.
Yeah, it's a very nice looking area. I like it.
It kind of mirrors Melania's arena.
No, yeah,
It
this
does.
is normal water. This is the milky color. Okay. It kind of has that look from some angles, but like it's not really it. It's just the lighting in this case.
Meanwhile,
I think it's
Godwin's corpse's arena, or I guess we should say Fortisax's, is very like
that has
lavender
purple
colored
water.
water.
Yeah, that's uniquely purple. That's the only place with purple water.
Yeah.
What I think is funny is that the grave boat that we jump off of to enter the arena, it has a big hole in its side with stuff dripping out of. So that's probably the boat that the Protrucent Knight actually came out of.
Wait, oh, you mean the one that we see dripping and like broken open and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Where you can
at the
actually
very least,
see
it
the
has to be
architecture
at the
inside of
very
it.
least, it's the source of the putrescence that covers the arena, which is presumably where Trina got all, the putrescent knights essence and stuff from, right? So.
I think it's cool that you can actually see like the architecture inside of the boat from that, because there's not a lot of places where you can see into the boats, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, because they just have like the boat, the coffins, right? But like
Yeah,
they just kind of have it
the
around.
coffin boat.
I do appreciate that they make that though the landmark though. Like it's like unique, right? It's like you see it and it's the area that stands out, so you kind of get a sense of, oh, this is where it's all leading to, right?
Yeah, it is a unique model from the other boats too. It's
Well,
a
yeah, of
larger and it
course.
has
They have to break it.
has like the archway. Yeah.
Fia's champion. Oh no.
Oh no!
It's
All
just
the people
Blythe.
see hugs.
Oh, I forgot how to get down here.
It's
Everyone
Blythe
should
with
put-
rivers of blood. Oh no.
Lore accurate Blythe.
And he's gone.
Are you
Ah.
playing on a line?
It's unfortunate that I have to do this.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Look,
I
getting
forgot
like
how
the-
to get down
So.
here. It's been so long.
Yeah, you go down.
I just drop? I'm not gonna die?
You fall.
All right. Geronimo! Oh, wow, I didn't die.
Oh,
The one time he doesn't
It
take
was-
fall damage, isn't that great?
It was very.
I wasn't
funny.
even
His
looking. I was
audio
hoping
cut
you were
out right
gonna
there.
just die.
Geronimo.
I had no idea where you
One
were.
spot that would kill me. All right, so we got the Deathrite birds and stuff here.
Anyway, I think I'm gonna head out.
All right,
All right.
nice having you join us for the stream, Teensa. Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Cream soup.
Lydia.
Good to see ya.
All right. Woo!
To the guy cosplaying as the Celeria Knight for Fia's champion. I'm gonna dox you and find your address. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking, YouTube. I'm joking.
I'm joking. She's joking.
Totally. Anyway, looking inside the coffin.
Take a little sneak peek.
Tee-hee. I do like how like they actually go like obviously they're just trying to like give you like some generic idea of like, oh, there's stuff in there, right? But I do kind of funny how they went like they're like, oh yeah, there's these complex designs and like stuff, right? Like they made it where it's very obviously supposed to just be like solid stone, but there's also like pillars apparently. They're just inside, like perfectly carved pillars inside this like rough ass stone look. Like it's kind of just funny how they like went a little extra there when they really didn't need to.
I thought the idea was they're trying to make it look like it has like an actual structure instead of it, like it's a floating mausoleum.
Yeah, I assume that would be the idea because like the putrescence is like it's clearly not being like contained inside a normal
It's supposed to be
coffin or what
burnt
have you, right?
before it becomes goop, I assume.
I'm not sure. I have to double check the lore on that one. 'Cause I don't remember if there were any details they specified
know-
on that.
The bright blue of the color of Ghost Flame comes from them burning the putrescence and not like like normal corpses and bones.
Uh-huh.
Wait, bright blue? We're talking about
Yeah,
like the whitish color?
No, the Ghost Flame from like the Putrescent Knight
Oh.
it is bright blue. And from the spells, the putrescent spells.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that stuff's covered here. I will say this new cable is working great on the controller. I'm very happy with it. And it's 2 meters long, so hopefully we won't have as many problems with me like having to accidentally unplug it or something if I, God forbid, move my chair a little. God forbid. All right, so all that's covered with the crystals.
Holy mo!
Oh god, not this one.
Over here, we got the precipice here. I was surprised today. I learned about rainbow lore. That shocked me.
Oh, what? What about it?
I learned rainbow lore, Nardi. Rainbow lore.
You learn gay people exist.
Oh my
What?
god.
Wait, you're telling me there are guys who like other guys? Huh?
Yeah, Loki, it's called Yaoi. Haven't you heard of it?
Oh, I heard of that, Yowie. That's in my Chinese cartoons.
Oh hell no, bro.
No, Bray's like, nah, let me get out of here real
I
quick.
came in at the perfect time.
Hell no, bro. What am I listening, man?
You're listening to me making content for stream. Content.
Can smile, no, Bray. You're on camera.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, your little Discord thing's right there in the corner on stream.
Trust.
Anyway, so yeah, I learned rainbow lore. So chat, for those of you listening, those of you lurking, this is the Church of Irith. It should be called the Church of Iris or Iris, I guess, would be how we pronounce it. Because she is the goddess of the rainbows, and she happens to be married to Zephyro, the god of the West Wind. And she's she's also associated with like being like a messenger and like with peace and stuff, because rainbow, symbol of peace and all that, bridge to peace and all that stuff, yeah, all that jazz. And I was kind of going over trying to determine if that was in fact the reference, or if it could be something, because Iris could also refer to Iris could also refer to the flower, and therefore the fleur de lis, and there's a lot of like the fancy architecture in Stormveil, so could that be like a veiled reference to like some type of like French architectural influence in Stormveil, because Godefroy is French and all that jazz, and it's French, of course, so kind of like going through there, but I was like, I feel like it's a few too many leaps to kind of get there versus the very more straightforward Iris connection. And then people were pointing out to me, I forget who it was, but someone pointed out how rainbow stones have lore connected to Stormveil. So I was like,
Adolphus pointed
oh
that
yeah,
out.
Adolphus. Yeah, Adolphus came out. I was like, oh wow, nice, yeah. So it was Adolphus who pointed that out on the Discord. By the way, guys, again, you can go to the link in the description of this video, and you can find under the contact page a link to the Discord server. So you can join yourself if you're interested in lore discussion, or even if you just want to lurk and kind of see what everyone else is like being crazy about, talking, chattering without end. But anyway, to get back to the discussion we were having, the Rainbow Stone, as Adolphus was pointing out, has a connection to Borderlands and localization. I double-checked, because I'll be honest, I've never really given a close look at the Rainbow Stone before. Yeah, the Borderland refers to the frontier, just like with the, I'm sorry, Mr. Wolf. Sorry, I had to put down Fido. Anyway, just like the, I don't have it here, but the Fringe Folk, here it is. The Fringe Folk Heroes Grave, right? It's supposed to be the Frontier Heroes Grave. So same thing, same frontier there. So, and we hear it various other times consistently used in reference to Limgrave. So it's like, oh, so the children in Limgrave like to play with rainbow colored stones, which you derive from the ruins, the ruin stones, like the fallen ruins of Farum Azula, which is very interesting, because one that would date it to specifically long after Farum Azula fell, and as I've determined with my dating, the events of the Fringe Folk Rebellion, which has Godfrey conquering all of these frontier lands down in the south, would be taking place right after Farum Azula gets defeated and goes up into the sky and all that jazz, right? And starts having its ruins randomly falling down over the time. So it makes sense. That lines up pretty nicely with, okay, defeats Farum Azula, conquers the frontier, and now all the children living there as the ruins are falling get to take some piece of the ruins and take that white light and turn it into the 7-colored light. Yay! Because we love learning about the science of white light. So that's kind of cool, and it connects back to this rainbow thing, and that's on top of the whole, connection of this church to like, oh, this is Marika comes in, and a church gets established because she's here overseeing the burials after they finally conquered Stormveil, because this is her penal colony, damn it, and she sure as hell gonna see it completed. She didn't pay every other person's tax dollars in order to be able to create that goddamn castle for nothing.
Or to bless the land on the, the Church of Returning? The Church of, what's it called? Where we start in the game? What's that called?
The Stranded Graveyard?
No,
Participation.
No.
Oh, the
Church of Anticipation,
yeah, Chapel of
Yeah.
Anticipation. That's what they call it.
where she turned the pebbles into solid gold.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that probably dates to. It's possible she also visited during that time. It'd actually be very funny if she did. It's like, you know, when we first, she's like, yeah, this is good land. Build a penal colony right here on this hill. I mean, actually, that probably, you know, she probably did. Actually, now that I think about it, because, like, she's never been this far out before, so she wouldn't really have it. Sorry, there I got myself muted, but somebody would have to be telling her about the land at least. So it would make sense if she came here and like scouted for herself when like Renala gave her passage all the way through here, and then like that's why her big statue is there, like with the churches. That would make sense, yeah. But yeah, so she was here at the beginning, and she's gonna be there when the final stone has been laid down. So yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. Like, you know, I was looking at your notes, Nardi. This is actually coming back to you. You had you actually did have all those rainbow stones listed out. It's like, oh yeah, the rainbow stones are a lot more common there, which is why I wanted some of your stuff on Altus and things to see if there were any other weird anomalies we could see there.
Speaking of that, you just reminded me. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
So, what other things are you exactly like looking for? In terms of Altus?
Well, like I just in general, I would like to look at Altus. So besides like any rainbow stones or stuff, you know, anything that might stand out that could be relevant to either the Shattering or to the larger history, because I've covered, you know, I've covered a lot of the early stuff with Marika now. I might, you know, I still have like stuff like Blow My Queen or whatever, but you've said you've covered Gelmir mostly, so that I could always like hop on and check that to verify if there's anything interesting that I haven't noticed yet. So like, there's still quite a bit to work with.
Let me actually hop off of Elden Ring and see if I can't transfer, because I don't have them on a Google Doc just yet.
Mm-hmm. Your Caelid one would also be cool if it gets ever put on a Google Doc, because I only have a PDF file that you sent a while back that I've
yeah. The Caelid gonna take a little bit, because Caelid has like a bunch of little things. Caelid, okay.
Yeah.
You know how I said Liurnia sucked to do?
Because it's so big.
Caelid's worse because there's so many little nooks and crannies within the mushroom folds that for some reason it is 10 times more annoying to do. Like, Liurnia is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's just big.
It's just big, and like you gotta make sure you're just kind of like getting at a bird's eye view to check everything. But with Caelid, no, you could have a corpse on a fucking mushroom. You'd never even know it, especially if the mushroom's taller than you are. I hate it here, but
Yeah.
give me a sec. Let me see if I can't get on my iCloud account and try.
Yeah, it's so funny. You even have the. I didn't even know this existed, but arrows with rainbow stones.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah.
Again, I don't engage with the crafting, so at a certain point, me collecting like the cookbooks just becomes a formality.
See, I like to use the cookbook to get an idea of what was in the area, because that's like kind of the whole.
Again, and that's what I use it for when I do my analysis or whatever. But it's never registered for me that you have this corpse here that's sitting at the broken bridge on the Stormvale side, facing Stormvale, and it has a nomadic warriors cookbook. So you're like, okay, collect in the area, and what does it make? It makes soft cotton, stanching boluses, and rainbow stone arrows.
Yep.
Yeah. So like again. So yeah, it's
also,
very obvious that the Church of Irith is a reference to Iris, the goddess of the rainbow, and the localization just got cheeky and decided to translate that Su to a TH, which, by the way, is not unreasonable. That does happen at times. You can translate it that way. Like, I'm not faulting the localization for that, but I don't know if they just didn't know what the reference was, or they thought it was too on the nose, so they decided to make it. I mean, they translated Bada as Rose, so I don't know why. Like, if you're just gonna call it the Rose Church instead of you could have called it like, I don't know, Bala or something.
Also, you cannot craft rainbow stone arrows with fletching. There's only like one corpse that you can pick up rainbow stones arrows with fletching. Actually, let me look.
Wait, what do you mean by with fletching? As in
feathers.
Feathers.
Wait, as in the arrows don't have any, like the models don't have any fletching, or?
No, in the crafting book, when you craft bone arrows, you can craft ones without fletching, or you can spend a feather to craft ones with fletching that gives it bonus
Oh.
range.
Oh, okay. That's what was confusing me. I thought it was all just came together. Okay, but no, okay. So then you're saying the rainbow arrows are unique in that they don't let you be able to add any fletching to them?
Yeah, but there is fletched ones you can find in subterranean shutting grounds.
Oh. I wonder if that's just a remnant, if that's like an oversight, it's just a remnant of an old idea. That's kind of interesting because they don't make it a separate item. It's just like I guess just like an alternative option, kind of like clothing.
I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, you can.
huh.
There's 2 different options in the crafting menu.
Yeah.
for
Like,
it.
I'm not surprised when we find the odd ones, like, you know, like it's a little weird for the ones in, I think, the rainbow jail. We're gonna put all the homos in there. But the what's it called? What do you call it? The Gale jail, right? Gale being a bad man. We gotta put him in horny jail. No more time with the fair lady for you. Anyway, in the Gale jail, there was I think some rainbow stones there. I was like, okay, maybe odd ones there. That maybe is connected to Limgrave, maybe not. But you know, it's fine. But then like you get the odd ones in like, oh, there's a cave or like somewhere where you're like, okay, these are like prism stones in the older games, right? Like you just kind of have that to help, you know, when people want a guide, or like Patches uses them, for example, right? So I don't think it's like, you know, they have to be exclusive, but it is impressive how they went out of their way to make sure, like, no, the most you're going to collect are going to be like in Limgrave, Weeping Peninsula, you know, that, you know, far frontier area.
I would say it's kind of cool that, like, presumably the children of the Vanished Knights are playing with remnants of their old capital and turning them into toys.
Loki, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what is it?
Do you own an iPhone?
No, I am a Samsung boy.
Oh my god,
Let's
you
go.
nerd.
Let's go. You
I'm
goated.
also
You goated,
Samsung.
bro.
Giant
Forbidden
nerd.
fruit.
You goated.
I read
Yo,
the story
goated,
about
bro.
that one.
You
iPhone
giant
is crap, bro.
serpent.
nerd.
iPhone is
Yeah.
crap, bro.
And then it's crap, bro. Well, unfortunately, that's what my notes app is on. So here, we're gonna have to figure this out real quick.
I mean,
I
LMAO.
can't you do it the same as you did your Limgrave and Liurnia one, or is that going to be too difficult?
It's not gonna be too difficult. It's gonna take forever though. I'd rather just like I can send this to you for right now, so that way you can at least pick through it and then just
Doesn't Apple have a way for you to like save or export to other file
It
types?
does. It does. The problem is that my iCloud account is like bursting at the seams, so I'm having to like pick through and find a way to send it to people without having to save it to that account.
Uh-huh.
Because they're gonna force me to pay money
Uh-huh.
to expand it, and I don't have money for that. I have to pay rent.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair.
But I can do this. Look, Altus Plateau. We'll do that. Save that. Copy the link.
That's
share.
a good rune.
And I can send that to you on Discord.
Again, if it's easier to do it as a PDF file, then feel free to just save it that way and like send it to me. Then I'll like again, I'll just have to like, I don't know if I can do it on my end, but I'll just have to take your Limgrave or Liurnia stuff and just save it so I stop having to like hunt for your links in our Discord chats.
Yeah, that would probably work too. But I also do like pin it in Discord, like on
it's
the
pinned.
Elden.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I started pinning them. Like I said, this one looks like ass right now, hot ass, but at least it's all copied. And it's not all of it either. I still have to do the shunning grounds, but I think I'm gonna put that in a separate document just so it like kind of breaks up everything.
Yeah, because you already have so much with Altus and stuff.
Yeah, I have like 78 pages. It's insane.
Uh-huh.
And this is without like fixing it up all nice and pretty yet.
Do you want
So
to separate Altus and Capital Outskirts as a separate file then, if you're also breaking it up anyway, and then maybe have Lanedell and Shunning Grounds as one thing, if it's just Capital Outskirts as its own separate?
that's a good idea. Actually, I'm like just making Landell its own dock and then doing the rest of Altus Plateau as its own thing.
I don't know how big Capital Outskirts would be compared. So like if it's just like Capital Outskirts, Langdell, and Shunning Grounds all together, then that could work. But like if it's just like Langdell and the Shunning Grounds, or if it's just like Capital Outskirts, Altus, Langdell / Shunning Grounds, like again, again, it's your dock. You can decide whatever you think is reasonable in terms of the length and stuff. But like, I'm fine. I'm fine if I just got like the Altus piece, and then the Capital Outskirts can come later or whatever when you're done with the Langdell and Shunning Grounds stuff.
That works. That works. I also have Mountaintops of the Giants. I think I haven't done that one yet. If you want that,
As in, you haven't like finished it, or
I haven't put it on like the Google Doc tables, and I haven't made it pretty yet. But it is in my notes. And I need to get rid of it.
I can wait. I'll wait for it to be pretty.
You gonna be waiting a while because holidays are coming up.
Make
so.
it make it pretty like one of your cakes.
Oh, Ken, you're don't don't even get me started on that. Caelid, let's see. I have Caelids too. Do we find rainbow stones in Caelid? I don't recall.
Again, apparently just JLK from what I've read in your doc. So.
Oh, we do. We do find rainbow stones in Caelid in Jail Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was calling it Gale Jail, but it's actually just Jail Cave.
Yeah, that works in Gale Jail, really.
It's the Gale Jail.
Let's see. Actually, hold on. Speaking of that, where is it? My funny little way of looking for shit.
Well, if it's around, I have already I've probably already looted it because I can't find it now. But I haven't referenced your notes, so I don't know the exact spot it's in.
Let me see.
Could just be that I'm missing the area. No, I didn't need to drop that. Yeah, overall, I'm very happy with my progress on Tumaru. Going very nicely with, like, you know, all the data and stuff. Like, I don't know if I'll have it done before the end of the year. I'll try, but we'll see. No promises. But I'm very happy that we're finding, like, new stuff that I can include, because God forbid if I missed that, I would hate myself. As far as, like, Elden Ring is concerned, one, I'm surprised that Bloodborne won the poll. Like, that does surprise me in a very pleasant way. That people really want me to focus and finish on Bloodborne. But with Elden Ring and stuff, I'm wondering, like, which topic I want to do next, because I'm starting to think, I'm like, you know, we're getting to the point now, Nardi. It's like, okay, I gotta at some point do astrologers. I gotta at some point,
You know what you really gotta do?
What?
The theology. You're gonna have to talk about the theology.
No! Don't get no Bryce started.
Cosmology.
No,
You're
it's
gonna
not.
have to talk about it. It's coming.
No! I still have so
It's
much more. There's so much
inevitable,
more history to cover. It's
As
okay. We don't
Thanos
need to
once
jump
said.
in yet. We don't need to figure
It's
out how
inevitable,
the
bro.
two people and one God works yet. We're fine. We're fine.
We have to talk about the moons,
Like the
Loki, the
Holy, like the
moons.
Holy Trinity, bro.
We gotta
It's like
bring
the
up the
Holy Trinity,
moons.
bro.
Renaula's moon.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, like, astrologers is a topic. We got Glow My Queen as a topic. Nox, I feel like I'd be relatively excited to cover Nox. Maybe even Farah Missoula. Like, there's definitely, like, there's a lot of different, like, topics where I'm like, you know what? I think I'm at the point now where we've covered so much of the modern stuff. We've, like, excised all that data and stuff from it. But I think some of these other ones, it's going to be like, oh, this isn't going to be that bad, I don't think.
When are we gonna start talking about the Newman? Let's open that can of worms real quick.
Newman would probably be wrapped up in Farah Missoula, most likely, and a bit of Nox as well, obviously, so...
What about Rao?
Rao would have to be its own separate thing, like when I talk about Ancient Civ, and I just have to decide if Ancient Civ and Ancient Dynasty are going to be part of the same analysis, or if I will separate them. Because it really kind of depends on, like, how detailed both of those topics would be individually.
I mean, one does lead into the other. So.
Yeah, like they're very obviously contemporary, so it's one of those things, and there's also potential hints that maybe one's destruction caused the other. So like if the ancient civilization's flirtation with the rot was adopted also by the ancient dynasty, it's quite possible that like it might have happened late into the history. Oh, how cute, sacramental blood! I almost forgot. It's like just casually on top of a giant skull with a giant crow eating this poor noble's corpse, and it's like, oh, sacramental blood. Nice, Mikola. Really doing your good deed for the day, huh?
Yeah. That's another thing too. The amount of stuff that we see in Caelid, dealing with both Mikola and Trina, I have to wonder. That campaign that Millennia went on, they were bringing a lot of personal items, like deeply personal items related to both Mikola and Trina.
Well, so here's the thing, because there is the Trina sword there, but I don't know if the Trina sword is like something that like, you know, Mikola and Trina made, or if it's something that like the local villagers made out of worship of Trina and stuff like that.
I'd say local villagers, because the Trina sword that you get in the DLC is just straight up called her sword. It's
Right.
her sword.
Yeah.
Imagine Trina having a sword.
She does.
Listen, she's all about love and peace, baby. You know, she's got to cut her butter for her toast every morning.
That's her
though.
peacemaker. That's her
She
peacemaker
forces
right there.
people to sleep, and then sometimes they get so sleepy that it's kind of indistinguishable from being dead. But that's only sometimes. That's
Sometimes we call that suicide.
Just sometimes.
So, you know.
Well, you know,
Hey,
that's just taking a long
Manny,
nap.
welcome to the chat. Hey-o.
That's just a long
I
nap.
am you too. Ready for Bloodborne 2 tomorrow, State of Play Japan. Oh, the State of Play Japan's tomorrow. Are we going to get Bloodborne 2? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Nope.
They'll totally announce
Yeah,
it
you're
this
so
time.
funny.
Yeah, it's going to be BB. It's going to be BB2 this time.
Oh, bro, we're going to get Bloodborne PC, bro. What are you talking about?
They're never releasing that on PC. They never come out with a sequel.
PC, my boy.
It was a one-hit wonder. Nothing's gonna follow it.
The one-hit wonder that everyone wants me to finish. Where were we before we were getting on the chat there? Damn. Nardi, what topic were we on? I'm lost.
Mikola
My
and
old
Trina.
bad blood.
Mikola and
Yeah,
Trina.
Mikola and Trina.
There we go. So, like, yeah, I don't think the Trina sword was probably there. Again, I do find it fascinating, though, how they do use the, what was it? The Sacramental Buds in order to kind of give you a sense of Mikola being here and spilling blood after the whole rot stuff. Kind of be like, oh, sorry my sister that I sent here accidentally ended up kind of destroying your homeland. Like, my bad.
Oh,
Here.
you do find rainbow stones in Landale too.
Oh,
Not
which
in
ones?
Landale. Capital Outskirts, Outer Wall Battleground. You find it in you find it on a Wandering Noble Sorcerer corpse.
In the graveyard area or like in the battlefield
could-
section?
That could come
Yeah,
from the Banished Knight.
graveyards.
That could come from the Banished Knight.
Oh yeah, that's true, Xavier. It could come from. Oh God, do I now have to? Is it going to be the stupid bolts all over again? I'm now going to be wondering if like
There's
every
one in,
rainbow stone is a hint at Banished Knight presence.
There's
At
also.
least they're kids.
Let me
At least
see.
they're kids.
Or at least they're kids. Brought little Johnny on the campaign. We're going home, son. It's fine. We're just gonna walk in through the capital. We're gonna be in and then out. It'll be like 5 minutes flat. It'll be beautiful. Godric would never.
It
lie
is
to
a
us. He
medieval
promised
setting.
that this would be easy. He's gonna have the gates open from the inside for us to just waltz in.
Yeah, he lied completely there.
No.
It's
You
not
see,
that-
Godric didn't lie. He was just so incompetent. He didn't realize how hard it would be to get Morgoth to open the gates.
And then they
Like, hey,
flooded the
Morgoth,
front
look,
end.
These soldiers, they're tourists. They're here to peruse.
Yeah, God forbid. Wait a minute. The Shunning Ground, Rainbow Stone Arrows. Okay, we have that. Let's go to
Ooh.
Mount
Told you about
Fjolnir.
that, Loki.
A BB checklist of 10 BB games. Yeah, all 10 BB games will be announced.
Bloodborne card.
Wait, so are those rainbow arrows the same you were talking about earlier, Xavier?
Yes. They're the fletched ones. The only 10 in the whole game.
Now those I
I
can
think it's just
imagine.
an
Those I can
oversight.
imagine they're just being like, oh, the sewers are confusing, so people are like using them. Though God knows where they found the ruin stones.
Let me see. Pulley bow.
Yeah, nothing we got here.
First Gelmir. Oh wait, first Gelmir campsite. Here we go.
They picked it in between the scales of Gransack.
There we go. Let's head over to Fortify Manor. Good old Grants.
Do you also want? Do you also want to check out
was
the
it you,
commoners?
Xavier, who mentioned the idea of like mining Grandsax's body or something for?
Yeah, that was me.
Mhm.
I was just about to mention checking out the commoners in the hospital, the little pharmacy.
Oh yeah, the petrify ones. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I you know what? I really, if they had like Bloodborne style like pickaxe dudes, actually they kind of do because they have the miners, right? Oh god, did they use those guys as the bait? No, they can't because like the miners are basically our size and the Tumerians are a lot bigger. Maybe they just took the animation. Maybe they could have taken the animations and scaled them down to fit regular. Maybe. But anyway, like if they had like miners or something like actually there, I think it would have been cool. Like here on the wall or whatever, where you got like the knight staring out, you could have had like a miner or two on the edges, kind of being like collecting gravel stone and have them drop gravel stone as unique drop. That could have been cool. All right.
Mountaintop of the Giants. Let's see.
I just find it funny how you have like the doorway to like the front half of like Langdell and stuff like that, right? Where the rest of the city would have been, and they never bothered cleaning up Grandsax's corpse that was like blocking half of the road. Like everyone just had to walk around it this whole time. And like this one guy's house would just stay destroyed. Like everyone else is able to live normally, except for that one guy. He just lost his house permanently. Even though I totally could have just rebuilt it. There was nothing like blocking the way.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Guess what? Oh my god, I kicked my little feet. They also have rainbow stones in the mountaintops of the Giants. Let me see. Stone blocks
Is it near
of the-
Captain Soul?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that would make
It is
sense
near-
because Castle Souls guy should have never been to the frontier in the first place.
It's near the Moor ruins.
The Roar ruins.
The Moor ruins. It's nearby
the Zamor ruins. Okay.
Yeah, it's heading towards the giant mountaintop catacombs.
The Zamor, huh? 'Cause there's not really a lot of places to really get lost in the mountaintops.
It's on that bridge, the stone blocks, kind of like walk path. But still, that makes no sense either, because again, it's kind of hard to get lost when you're going in one direction.
It could be okay. It could be a meta joke, because it could just be the idea of you have the stones and you lay the stones to create a path, right? And then you have the stone blocks and they've been laid down to create a path for Godfrey and his men to march over. I think that's probably that's Miyazaki just being cheeky.
Let's see, Mogwin.
Because rainbow stones are generic enough where you could, again, theoretically come up with an explanation for them being anywhere and someone like getting like patches and stuff. Like he walks around, he drops them over in Gelmir to kick us down that ledge. So they're generic enough where you can come up with an idea for them to be anywhere, kind of like the Black Knights, right? But it's like an item where it's like he can be like, oh, get it, because they lay down the path. No, but great. Now I have to. Now I have another thing. Rainbow stone, laying down rainbow stones to be cheeky is now something I have to consider adding to the giant war.
You see, doing the Halig tree one. Check there.
Yep.
Nope. Nothing so far. I haven't finished that one yet, though, so...
Yeah, that would make sense. It'd be... I guess you can maybe make a case of being like, oh, the rainbow stuff with, Mikla, and he accepts, so many different people of all sorts of shapes and sizes and colors or something like that, right? Like, I could maybe see them trying to, make kind of like a subtle jab there, but...
I will say this though. What interests me the most about the Haligtree so far, because everything else seems pretty standard,
Right,
par
right.
for the course on Haligtree stuff.
Yeah.
But we have what is it? This is the canopy area. Flaming bolt times 10. Looted
Somebody
from a
wanted to burn
one-
the tree, I guess.
like on the canopy, no less. Like at the very entrance. And it's just like some guy, some random guy. By the way, all of the corpses so far in Elfile and like the Haligtree in general have all been wandering noble sorcerers. Just want to let you know that they've all been wandering noble sorcerers. Not a lick of guilty or naked or just commoner corpses. Nope, it's all the same type.
I wonder if they were trying, like, how does that compare to, say, even like mountaintops and stuff? Because we do see like nobles and stuff trying to make their way to the Haligtree and things like that. So.
So in the mountaintops we have, let's see,
Again, anything from Consecrated Snowfield, mountaintops, you know, anything in that zone.
commoners, wandering nobles. Let's see. I know we have some guilty ones too. I remember seeing a couple of them.
So, like, is it like a fair mix of them, or?
I would say it's a fair mix in the.
Okay, so it's very consistent with Haligtree that this is the anomaly.
Yeah.
This one, they
And
want to reuse that model specifically a lot.
Even in Liurnia, I would go so far as to say there was like a nice little mesh, like a little mix-up of the different types of corpses, and in Limgrave, obviously.
Yeah, there was just a very random, what was it? The stupid random butterfly that we... Well, was that in the Frenzy Tower? I forgot where exactly we saw it. Or was it the...
Oh. What?
No,
what random butterfly?
It was actually, no, it was the Firefly, wasn't it? It was like a random silver or glintstone Firefly.
Oh, yeah, that's in Liurnia. That's in Liurnia.
No,
and
that was a silver firefly. That's at, I think, 2 or 3 of the ruined Banished Knight towers in Liurnia have silver. No, it's at the 2 ruined towers. The one where the sorcerer's at, and then the Frenzy Flame Tower, and then the other end of the bridge to Limgrave. That's where the silver fireflies are at.
I was about to say that. Yeah, there's the one that's behind the carriage on that broken bridge.
Yep, silver Firefly. Let me double check the one at the lookout tower, because I thought it was at just one of them.
Yeah.
No, it's at
There's
both.
3 of them.
Okay.
You can also find some in a very weird little crevasse nearby Castle Enzis, and
silver fireflies. What are they used for crafting?
it helps with item discovery. It boosts your chance of getting like good loot,
I'm just
droppable
trying to
loot.
see if they're used for anything else that I.
But they're found mainly in like cold water areas, so it's a little odd to find them just chilling on the ground.
In the
in the middle of
underground.
nowhere.
In the underground.
Yeah, because normally they're in caves and stuff, right? Which makes sense. You know, you have gold.
Yep.
You know, they have the gold ones out under the sun. They have the silver ones in the dark, deep caves and stuff like that. Very consistent with like the Nox and stuff like that. So where's the silver firefly here? Trying to see. And you guys are sure it exists at the forest lookout tower?
Yeah.
Sorry, not the highway lookout tower. My bad, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Right here, right outside the
Yep,
tower.
of course I'm right.
Yeah. So that's 2 lookout towers that they have them. And then at the bridge behind the coffin, if I remember the firefly there. Behind the coffin carriage.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure what's up with that. So I'm trying to think, like, is it supposed to be like someone's hopping and moving around? Maybe it could be a allusion to Melania?
Are they all on the same side of Liurnia, or is it like?
Yeah, it's all on the eastern side. Like,
Yeah, then that someone's traveling with those and they're dropping them.
yeah, that would
That's
be
what
that
it
would be an
like
easy.
to me.
At the very least, the idea, because maybe the specific location isn't important. Maybe it's just the path, because you have the one at the broken bridge to Stormvale, and you follow that one up to the highway lookout tower where the Melania Stela is, right? You have one next to the tower there. Then you go across the broken bridge of Academy Gate Town, past the Academy, all the way onto the Bellum Highway. And then Bellum Highway is where you pass the Frenzy Flame Tower overlooking Dectus, right? And that's where the last one would be. Now, unless there's like another random one that we've all somehow missed, that definitely does kind of give a sense of a path. And I don't recall any on Altus either, so they're just trying to show it as a path in Liurnia. But my question would be is like, who is it supposed to be? Because the only one I can think of who made major travels that they at least talk about is obviously Melania. They make a point of her.
Doesn't the catacombs near the southeastern
Nox Mirror
end?
Helm? Are you talking about
Yeah,
the
the
Nox
Nox Mirror Helm.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but
actually.
that ties into like the general like culture in Liurnia and what we've got going with like the sorcerers in Caria and like the research into like, you know, the Two Fingers faith America's bringing and settling in here and all that. So that's all fairly consistent. The Fireflies though are just weird because we don't normally see them outside like this. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we have any other examples of them outside of this area.
No,
In the
besides
DLC
Tesla.
we do. The DLC.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
It's in,
like I said, there's a crevasse right next, like a waterfall crevasse right next to Castle Endless, where you find like several of them on the rocks nearby the waterfall. And the sunlight still technically hits that area, but I guess the water would be considered cold enough that they thrive there. Plus, it's nearby where Rolana is, so
Isn't there like a valley and like overhang, like cliff overhangs and stuff there too?
there is, but not in the area. Like it's not overhanging on top of the
Okay.
Silver Fireflies.
Okay.
But
That one
yeah,
at the very least it would be obvious. Okay, it has to deal with sorcerers.
yeah.
And we don't see any of these in Limgrave, so it can't be like, oh, we're trying to allude to the path between Celia and Liurnia. Especially considering it goes all the way past the academy to the tower. So it's specifically talking about people who go from Altus to Limgrave along the Eastern Highway.
Let me see, actually. Silver Fireflies in Altus.
Yeah, if they're not in like small dungeons like caves and stuff like that.
Perfumer's Grotto. No.
Yeah, that's pretty consistent.
Alright, let's look at Giants.
God, I swear, so many blood roses in Liurnia. So many blood roses.
Yeah.
So
It's
much
kinda
water,
crazy.
so many blood roses.
Silver. None in Mogwin Palace, which is really weird.
I guess they kind of distract from all the red.
Yeah. Wouldn't want anything to clash with the upholstery that Moog has going on.
Yeah, I can see that because they want to have like that, you know, they really are, it's clearly they wanted to really like kind of hammer home with the giant like red, like bright red plastered everywhere. So I could see having a bunch of silver fireflies would be a little distracting.
Let me see if there's anywhere else. Oh, Caelid. Let me look at Caelid real quick.
Yeah, we covered this stuff for Radigan's Reign, Liurnian Wars we've got covered. I will say I'm happy with my most recent update, adding a little bit more on the Liurnian Wars. I like the little thing with the Noble Spirit here. I'm actually surprised how good they've been with like actually being meaningful about the enemies they're choosing for the spirits and stuff like that. Like they haven't really had one where it's like, okay, this one you have to get a little creative with to imagine. Like it's pretty much spot on every time, whichever model they use, which is always nice.
Now, the interesting thing about the silver pickled fowlfoot recipe is it's from a missionary's cookbook 3 in the Smoldering Church in Caelid.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of makes sense given Celia, things like that. Let's see.
Wait. But isn't, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't the silver fowlfoot used in like the missionary's Erdtree? Okay, yeah, never mind.
Does that also have the golden fowlfoot beside it? Like, what else does
I
that
think
book
both are in
craft?
there, right?
No, it's
Oh.
just the missionary's Cookbook 3 is just the silver pickled fowl foot from what I wrote down. Let me see.
Then which one is the golden?
That one's more rare, I want to say. Yeah, it's just the silver pickled fowl foot that you get from that cookbook alone. That is the only recipe you have in there.
Again, like you said, makes sense because of Celia and stuff. But
Yep.
then... Okay, this has to be where the cookbooks are, right? No. I have no idea where cookbooks are.
This one was found on a corpse. It's a wandering noble sorcerer
Yeah,
corpse
it's
inside
one of the
church.
victims of what's-her-face, Anastasia, right? So...
Yeah.
Ogre woman.
The ogre, the ogress. Hey, at least Margaret has a friend. They could be Oni together.
Let me see.
Yeah,
Chan.
cookbooks. The cookbook. Oh, there they are. Finally, I'm like, I think it's cookbooks. It's the missionary one, right? So, I have 3, 4, and 5 on this character. So yeah, I haven't picked up the one for the golden foot. If I had to guess, it'd probably be somewhere like Deep Root Depths or something, right? Because like fundamentalists and all that.
Let me see.
Like, I
Let
would be
me
surprised
look.
if it's like in the underground rivers or somewhere, or at the very least has to be some late game area related to the Erd Tree, I imagine. Maybe even Haley Tree? I don't know.
The 4-toed fowl foot. My God.
Hey, it's better than 3.
Let me see.
4 is just 2 2s. We like
Oh,
2
it's
2
in the
fingers.
Rao. Oh, the 4-toed fowl foot is in the Rao ruins. Oh God.
Wait, as in the actual like the foot itself, or like the golden recipe?
The 4-toed fowl foot is a material used for crafting items. You can find them in the Rao ancient ruins. You can farm them.
For the
Farm
bird?
them there, huh?
All
Yeah.
the birds drop it.
Ah.
Let me see where you can get the recipe for the
I thought it was lucky because it was one off from 3.
Oh, okay. So here's the funny part: the Missionary's Cookbook 2. God damn it! It's sold by Patches at Murkwater Cave.
Ah. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Stormvale, Godric. Yeah.
He hates his clerics.
That's
Sure
true.
does.
Yeah, that it is fun. It is funny how they brought that over, because like he doesn't really mention or talk about clerics that much in there. He doesn't even like bring up. He doesn't really bring up clergy at all in Elden Ring, right? He just kind of talks more about
It's just that subtle. Well, actually, he joins Volcano Manor, which would.
Well, yeah.
Would
Okay, so
gonna.
yeah, he's obviously anti-Erd Tree, but like he's already he's a criminal, right? Like he's always like. You know, it's just that, specifically, they don't make him where he has a particular bent against clerics. He just has, like, a bent against the elites and those in power, right? Like, he makes a big deal about how Godric's, like, overworking the soldiers that have turned into highwaymen in his cave that
He's a revolutionary.
Yeah.
Patches Revolutionary would kill me. Also, mind you, this cookbook also has the Script Stone and the Grace Mimic recipes in it as well.
Grace Mimic
Grace
and
Mimic
Script
makes
Stone, huh? Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that checks out. Like,
He wants to trick people, so he has the fake grace.
Yeah, so you can make a case that either A, because of Godric, or B, just generic missionary stuff here that would be around. The one with the one with the sacred pot. Is that from the Summon Water Village? I'm trying to remember. The one with the Golden Order pots.
Let me see. Missionary's Cookbook 2.
I think there might be 2 versions of it because of the pots.
Yeah. There's the basic one, and then there's the Golden Order one. That's the ritual pot.
There's the Holy Water Pot and the roped Holy Water Pot.
And that one comes from which cookbook that you get?
The first one that you can buy off of Kale in the Church of Ella. Let's see.
Okay, yeah, so just very generic. Okay.
Yeah, and then you got number 2, which is Patches. Let's see, number 3. Silver Pickled Fowl Foot. Number 4. Where's number 4 at? Oh, okay. You know what? I fucking hate how the wiki is set up to where I can't just click on the very next one in the cookbook recommended.
You had me at you hate the wiki.
Yeah, you know, I sold you on that already. Okay, cool. God.
Listen, Artie, there's a reason I turned to you. I trust you more than whatever the frick whoever edited those pages is.
Oh, the Sacred Order.
5
okay.
is...
This one is found in the
5 is
Shifra
Biafra.
Aqueduct.
Yep, that makes sense. Fundamentalists, so.
Yep. Yep.
All those fundamentalists going around dying while hunting for goddamn a path to Godwin.
So here's also another funny thing that I noticed while running around in the DLC area, and it's tangent to the Foulfoots. So you know how the Hornsent have their own version of that with the horns, the Silver Tinder horn. You can still get the Foulfoots in the DLC, but they're only in areas dealing with Mesmer and his armies. Only dealing with the Erdtree. You will never find them outside of those areas. Yep.
Oh, that... You know what? I just realized something.
What?
The Dancing Lion, the 2 sets of horns he has, the one's on the back and one's on his head. One has gold lining the horns, and the other has silver lining the horns. It's probably a reference to the currency.
Yeah, that would make sense. If I remember correctly, the currency is for the commoners and the elites, the priests.
Yeah, I believe so.
Or was silver the elite, and then the gold was the Inquisitors? I can't remember.
I think one was the common currency, and the other was the thing specifically for the priests and the clergy. But I may be misremembering. Unfortunately, I don't have any on this character, so let me switch over. Let me switch over to my sorcerer. I may have it there.
Gold currency used by Hornsent. Okay, yeah, society's upper echelons. So yeah, this is the nobility.
Yeah, so these are for the nobles, and the others for the Inquisitors. Okay, yeah. Gold is for Inquisitors, because gold closer to clergy and stuff like that. And silver's for the nobles, because they're a little bit lower on the totem pole.
Do we have any origin for, like, the Fugitive Deserters cookbook, besides it being a deserter's record of crafting techniques, contains knowledge for surviving in the face of utter scarcity?
That one's
Do we
the
know
one
where
you get in the Gelmir battlefield, right?
Okay, so he deserted, Rykard's people, right?
Oh, that, I think it's inside Morgoth's camp specifically, but maybe could have deserted from Rykard still and joined up with Morgoth. That's possible.
That makes sense if, like, we're looking at the fact that the first cookbook has pickled turtleneck as one of the recipes.
Well, actually, one second, Nardi. One second. Let me double check something, because I think... I can't remember if this is like a... Because there's a sword you get. There's a sword you get from, like, a scavenger, so... Let
me see.
So let me see. Fugitive Deserter cookbook. And what do you make with that?
It's bone arrow fletched staunching bosses, and pickled turtleneck. But it also says there's no knowledge of where to find the damn thing.
Oh, it's probably cut content then.
Oh, well, fuck me. Why put that on the wiki? Oh my god.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure they have cut. Yeah, they have to cut content on the wiki. Okay, yeah, because I was thinking of the scavenger sword. I'm like, yeah, I remember that being in the Gelmir battlefield, but.
See, this is why I have trust issues. This is exactly why I have trust issues.
Yeah.
Damn. That's nuts.
There we go.
Carlos, let's see.
Sorry, everybody. Had to untangle my wires. There we go. Kind of wrap myself up trying to go searching for that real quick. Okay, so looking at that stuff, it's like, okay, we have a lot of... There's definitely still quite a lot to talk about and stuff, but with your data and stuff for some of the later areas, I can start, like, going back, trying to flesh out anything I might have missed. And once we have all that down pat, it's like, okay, slowly but surely, I'm clawing my way through the areas, and we're getting, like, everything accounted for and figuring out, like, what's relevant to what. The Gelmir stuff is going to be definitely useful for Glowmite Queen and things like that. The Altus stuff is just going to be useful in general with all the existing things I've made, plus anything in the future. Liurnia's, I think I might... I don't know if I've completely exhausted Liurnia, but I've gotten very close. There's not too much left to talk about in that area. Like, there's the Ainsel Riverwell stuff with the Graven School behind it, with more blood roses, of course. Jarburg, can't forget Jarburg. We've already covered that. Of course, there's like the Vulgar Militia, but like Vulgar Militia are just... The only big question I have about the Vulgar Militia is like where the hell they come from.
Short people land.
Yeah, like I like what is this, like Gilligan's Island or whatever? Like where are they?
They're Oompa Loompas, don't you know?
Yeah, they just kind of like appear, and are like just doing stuff for like anybody, which is like, okay, so they're like mercenaries, but like I just don't understand, like where are they? Where have they been? Like they're not like demi-humans or anything, right? They're just tiny people.
Let me see.
Just very weird to me. Like
I'm giving you...
I'm like, okay, beastmen, human, maybe they crossbreed, and that results in like a demi-human, and then they're like forced out and become like savages in the corner society. As I recall, we've confirmed that it's actually like a glitch or something like this, right? Like a mistaken variable that causes EG to be on black flame instead of normal red flame. Or was it like, oh no, it's the same effect that even the Black Knife Assassins do with some of their attacks, as I recall. I forget which one it was. Yeah. I think it was like we confirmed that like some attacks Black Knife Assassins do also do like the same black flame instead of the like special like death flame like Malekith style.
Here you go. I sent you all the copy and pasted notes from my phone. They may not be pretty, and some of them are in various stages of incomplete, but it's a good starting point.
For Altus or?
All of them. Altus, Mountaintops of the Giants. Mountaintops of the Giants is finished. Moblin Palace is finished. Haligtree Path is finished, but the Haligtree is not. Caelid is almost finished. Altus Plateau is almost. Yeah, so... Right. Realm of Shadow is definitely not finished yet.
For sure.
God, that is gonna be so fucking big.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to break it up. But yeah, definitely Bellerot area, from what I remember, is finished. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Mesmer's another one. Mesmer and the Crusade. At some point, I'm gonna do that, but it's like, goddamn.
Mesmer and the Crusade is gonna be one monumental.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big thesis for sure. Just because, like, you know, they're like some of the stuff, it's pretty generic. It's like, oh look, we see that there's signs of Mesmer and his forces being basically everywhere. It's like, okay, so that part's like very simple to cover. But then some of like the minute stuff, like the stuff with the knights and what they're doing, that would probably have to be included there. It's one of those things where I could see myself where I do like a preliminary Mesmer thesis where I focuses like more on like the basic overview, and then like over time I'll do updates that will flesh out the individual guys, because it's so much. But that's what I could say for a lot of Elden Ring. It's just slowly but surely building up, like, you know, all the various things. Because the game is just so huge and there's so much to talk about.
And so many different items. Jesus. Oh, speaking of items, by the way, in the DLC, there is, so far, only one place I found this mysterious little item. But I've been meaning to ask you about it, because I don't know if anyone else here has seen it, and maybe I just missed it. Let me scroll.
What's it called?
To get to it. It's a certain type of holy grease, but it's like, it's mainly found in.
Oh, I think I know it. It's the one that has the crucible sigil on it, right? The old tree symbol.
Yeah, I want to say so. It's like, it's very rare, and you only find it in Shadowkeep.
Yeah, I think you craft it with the golden bones you collect from the Realm of Shadow, if I recall correctly.
That's like the only instance I so far have seen that, and I would remember if I saw it, because like every other holy grease looks the same to me.
Yeah.
But this one stuck out, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's supposed to, I can't remember if it's like a stronger version of the existing holy grease. Maybe it doesn't use the golden bones. Maybe it uses, I think, because festive grease definitely uses golden bones, but Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember what exactly the crafting recipe may be, but like the point is like yeah, it's a special grease that Mesmer's forces use, and it has the old tree symbol because duh, of course, because like you see a lot where like you know there's the old tree sigil is used for basically everything.
Drawstring golden grease.
Ironically, except for the animation for when they perform what's the incantation called?
Golden Vow.
Yeah, Golden
Now, I
Vow.
will say, the weirdest thing to me, right, is that you can find several different types of holy grease in the DLC, ranging from the festive grease all the way to the one I just talked about, the drawstring golden grease.
Inside
like,
the
and you
Shadowkeep,
find-
you mean?
Yeah, you can find it in Shadowkeep. The festive grease is in there.
Yeah,
It's in,
yeah. I knew about the festive grease and stuff. Yeah, that's consistent because you know the festive grease is related to America's Village, and that's right behind the Shadowkeep there. So it's a little foreshadowing.
the drawstring golden grease is on the steps near the bridge where there's a fire knight strolling around.
Yeah.
And that's like the only instance I've seen of it.
There's one that's on a haunted corpse surrounded by a circle of flowers that is on the way to the river under the river that's underneath the bridge towards Castle Ensith. The one that also has like a poison swamp on the way as well.
Mm-hmm.
The poison swamp. Oh yeah, I think I know which one you're
Yeah.
talking about.
That's the other one.
That's not the one that faces the Fort of Reprimand, right? That's a different one.
The 30 poison swamps that Miyazaki has chosen to put in the game.
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many even here.
He left
It's
this
like
Kagare.
so much Kagare. Yeah, I remember.
Nardi,
There's one
do we-
over, yeah, the one down here. It's by the ancient ruin base, right? Where that's poison swamp.
Yes. I don't have the map on me. I don't have
I have it on
Elven.
stream here. So there's the poison swamp here, and then we go backwards from there. That's where you get into the little hidey hole where the priests are creating their minor Erdtree in their little lab thing back here. Fortunately, I don't think we can get back up. Oh no, maybe? No, I can't. Okay. And then there's like the lake thing. Do you mean the river that you have to go down the secret route in the Shadowkeep to get to, Xavier, or the one by Castle Ensis?
I'm terrible at giving directions.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Nardi
remember
would know
which
better
lake
than me.
which river it is, because there's two of them technically. There's one leading to the Shadowkeep.
It's the one in the middle of the map that goes underneath the bridge.
Elec Great Bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the river, that's where you'd find the circle of flowers with this corpse, or
Not in the river. When you go on the way to get down there, where you pass the blood fiends fighting in front of the forge.
Right. So on the way to
Anyway.
there, you're saying?
Yeah, it'll be off to the side somewhere.
All right, let me go to the forge then and travel back where.
Nari, did we ever tell you about the golden skeletons found besides America's Village?
Nardi? Uh-oh.
Nardi?
I think we lost her.
She
Oh, no, she's
died.
dead.
She's gone.
We lost her, guys.
She's been taken by America.
Oh, very sad. Womp womp.
The
At least she
Shadow
wasn't taken
Tree
by the
has
horn
graced
scent.
her with gold.
No, I'm still here. My cat's looking annoying.
Oh my god, she's alive! Ah!
Oh wow,
Sorry.
she lives.
They were fighting each other, so I had to walk out and go and deal with that real quick. His guts is an asshole, and he kept messing with her.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Did we ever tell you about the golden skeletons that are by America's Village?
Oh, no.
Well,
They
Lucky, do you
exist.
want to explain that to her?
Yeah. In fact, Nobre. Sorry, not Nobre. Nardi. Let me show you on the stream.
Alright, give me a sec.
Yeah.
This is a cool bit of lore that I found, and then Loki, found an explanation for.
Yeah, I love having Xavier as my wonderful explorer. He's my what are those two guys called? My whatever.
Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, my Lewis and Clark. There we go. My wonderful little adventures of the great frontier. Nardi does all the recording.
hinterland.
Xavier does all the actual exploring. You guys are all talking to the local NPCs in their native tongue code.
Golden skeletons. Are they big or are they just like regular size?
No, they're like very very small models. It's actually kind of like a search to have to like find them and stuff if you're just wanting to like.
They're the harvestable skeleton piles that you pull like a shard of bone out of to get the golden bone shards.
Yeah.
I call them
Oh,
golden
cool.
skeletons, but technically only a tiny shard of it is golden. It's just shorthand.
Ah, here we go. Found one. No, wait, that's a stupid animal. Never mind. Yeah, this is the unfortunate part. Is like finding them because of all these goddamn flowers can be a pain in the ass. And I don't.
Yeah, Lucky connects it to the whole what
The
is it connected
Dominula,
to?
the Dominula culture.
Yeah, the Dominula thing,
Yeah,
and
with the
then the female
Fuck ass rat.
Yeah,
the
that stupid
female,
ass rat.
lamprey.
Let me double check, make sure I'm in the right part of the hill. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. Or no, is it that
Yeah,
one?
you are.
Yeah, it's not that one over there, right? It's the higher one.
Xavier, do you also have this mod, or are you just like raw dogging it?
I'm just raw dogging it.
I'm
You have to be like, wait a second, I don't want to be recorded saying that.
But yeah, I only have PlayStation. I don't have it on the
Yeah, he
PC.
doesn't have PC, so he doesn't even he can't even go to Patreon and download this thing with a nice
Oh
$6
no! Look,
subscription.
I hear you're willing to go on Night Rain and go on raids with these guys. Meanwhile, I'm over here on my dinky little PC, like, man, I wish someone would play Night Rain with me. Wow.
Don't
I will
worry,
buy
you
it
don't
on
believe me. You
PC.
don't want to play with friends when it comes to hard mode Libra. Believe me.
Oh, they have
Yeah,
difficulty modes in a From
terrible.
Software game.
Yeah,
That's-
they
No,
I
it-
found it. Here we go. No, here we go, Nardi. When
No,
the
it
stream
works
catches up.
as every week they switch out, and there'll be two of the Night Lords will have like their super boss versions that you can fight separately. So it's not really like a hard mode. It's kind of like an event.
Yeah. So the bones don't look too golden by themselves. If you looked at them, you could just believe that these were like they're just not bleached like generic like skulls or whatever. But like you look at the gold bone shards, it's very clear. Yeah, these are supposed to just be like golden bones. They're just not like glowing.
Interesting.
And there's like 3 or 4 piles of these in this area that you can loot. So like someone, either when they were already dead or when they were still alive, marched out of the village with these bodies, marched around up this hill, and then left the bodies out here to decay.
And
we
do
know it's not
note
a burial
they have their
practice 'cause
own
we see
graveyard
right here.
behind the village.
Yeah, we know it's not a burial practice because we see this cliffside graveyard right next to the village. So it's like, oh, this is their actual, burial cemetery for the old villagers. So somebody's getting killed, and the villagers are discarding the bodies. The first chance they get at a nice little easy to get to spot overlooking the village for them. So either, I don't know if there's a sacrificial ritual that happened on that hill, or if it's just purely for the sake of trashing the bodies. Like, this is their landfill, essentially, right? Though, hey, if they wanted to do that, I guess they could have just chucked them over the edge down the cliffside if they wanted, right? But
And into the pit.
yeah, into the pit. But yeah,
Chuck
so,
some in ruins.
yeah, so clearly there was some ritual killing, it looks like, was happening here, which again would be very consistent with some of the stuff we see with Dominula. At the very least, some similar practices. So it definitely looks like there was I mean, this was the thing that I had to point out is, like, you know, somehow this village of all women are having new women be born. So that has implications about where they're getting the men from and what they're doing with them.
Man thing.
Man. Lady D.
And then you have the pink lampreys that spit blood
Miss.
like the Dumanula one.
Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, the lampreys as well. Yeah, I don't know if you heard this, Nardi, but I've talked about it before where I'm like, I'm fairly certain the pink lampreys are supposed to be the Newman women from the village, which is why we only find them there and not the other ruin, where it's like, oh, you have all these male horn-sent scholars and stuff who are, like, turning into, you know, these lamprey things, and they're like the blue ones. And then you have these women from the village who are similarly turning into these lamprey things over the history. So,
and then eating the bluish black one.
yeah, I'm probably eating the blue ones. Yeah.
God. They're so ugly.
Main problem behind
They
it is
are.
what the fuck they wanted to say using Rykard's skin on it. Yeah, and I've said this before. Like, my position is, I think, again, for those that have new to the chat and haven't, like, you know, followed what I've said on this before, my position, at least currently, I'm not gonna say like I'm you know, I have a very hard stance on this. God, where the hell is Bond? Over here. There we go. I believe that snake skin is a you know, it's from Gelmir. It was a model that was cut from the game in the base game for Gelmir, right? So it was clearly, at least originally, supposed to be for the Gelmir serpent snake skin. And they just took that model and they were like, hey, we haven't used this thing, let's use it here. And they plopped it over here on the corner right next to this headless statue that we see used for the grandmother over at the village under a horn scent tree here off to the corner, right? So this leads me to think that and we also get the Oh Mother gesture here, which is what we use in order to unlock the door to the hinterlands to get to the village in the first place. So I think that the idea was probably they had Messmer and his forces. They came here burning stuff. Messmer ended up coming upon this statue. I think the reason they removed the head on here and had it defaced is probably because, well, one, because it's to show, like, you know, Messmer's anger and rage at seeing this, and two, because they didn't want to give away so easily the resemblance to Marika with these women's statues, right? Or what exactly the connection was, like what we see with the grandmother later. So I think what happened was Messmer came upon this, he saw it, and he at least noticed or had some, like, connection where he's like, oh, mother, right? Oh, mother, right? Like, right there, he had that moment, and that's why the gesture is there, because it's supposed to represent, like, his connection, where he realized it connects to his mother and the village that he's safeguarding back there and all that jazz. And for, you know, one reason or another, that seemed to have caused him to have an episode and caused his sneckiness to leak out and went on a bit of a rampage, and then eventually he, like, he sheds its skin and he goes back to normal. That's what I think the concept is here, is they're kind of trying to show off how, like, he went a little overboard. And then
and then his knights were like, oh my god, you're a snake.
right, and that
Messmer
like,
really
yeah,
is
like
the
Xavier
Kylo
pointed out
Ren.
last stream when we talked about this, like, that is a perfect segue into how they figured out, oh, you're actually a snack, and they start getting all, you know, rebellious against Messmer. So
I am fully convinced that Messmer is like the fucking Kylo Ren of the Golden Order.
oh no, yeah, I think that's very consistent with what we see with him personality wise. Like he you know, he has, like, that very posh attitude and stuff like that, but clearly his voice direction really sounds like he's, like, you know, suppressing a lot of rage and stuff like that, and we see that a bit during the boss fight as well. So I really do get the feeling like he had some sort of tantrum or something where he, you know, the seal that his Marika's mother, the eyeball thing, like it just stopped working that moment, and then eventually, you know, the good snake in him or whatever, he calms it down, he goes back, you know, puts the seal back in his eye or whatever, and he kind of moves on with his day. But obviously, you know, the cat's out of the bag. At least some on-wall, like obviously he probably, you know, he's probably not walking around by himself, so he probably had some escort, the Knight Commanders and stuff like that, you know, are serving him directly, you know, and stuff like that. You know, his closest allies besides the Fire Knights, and they're probably, you know, they're probably seeing this and they're like, okay, like, what do we do now? We just learned something we probably shouldn't have. Second problem, while the finger bells have a summon spirit ash area, are we talking about like the bells we like blow into or whatever to make, I guess, help like get to Metter somehow or some way? That I will admit I have no idea like what's exactly going on there.
The first mommy in the Elden Ring universe.
Apparently, yeah.
Elden Beast's elder sister.
She really does have big sister energy.
I mean, I guess you could go with this idea of silver then gold, right?
I can see it, yeah.
Because like they associate the silver so much with like the water and stuff like that, and obviously there's a lot of water theme with Metter and everything. And they have like, you know, they don't really. She doesn't use anything gold like throughout the entire fight either.
The closest to gold is the microcosm spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that simulacrum of like trying to make contact
the
with
Big
Greater
Bang.
Will. Yeah. Yeah, the mini universe. You know, just casually creating a simulacrum of a universe. Don't mind me.
Yeah, well, it's an elder god,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, essentially. And then alongside that, there's her birthing all the finger creepers, which at least as far as the Realm of Shadow is concerned, all the finger creepers are supposed to come from her, which again, I don't know if that's supposed to mean that like every single finger ruin is like she's responsible for creating all of those. So like is it just like she casually went there? Like again, I'm still trying to understand exactly why the lands get scarred and changed that way.
I can't remember. I think there was
Malekith
something that
kill
said...
Glowmite Queen during the cinematic from DLC post Hornsed and claiming Glowmite to something. America just pull the Elden Ring from the dead body. No, we do not see the Glowmite Queen. We see yeah, we don't see Malekith at all either. No.
No.
I don't even know what she's pulling that thing out of, but it looks disgusting.
It looks like a sack, and it could be kind of like God's skin, where in this case it's the Newman skin from the village.
Yeah, it's the shaman skin. A shaman skin sack.
Shaman skin sack, yeah.
Oh, Ed Gein, hello.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I think what you're thinking of, Abyss, is there's a what's her face? There's Romina. She's the one with her bud in the cinematic. Just kind of, again, the cinematic is kind of cheating because she's supposed to be in the church behind the tower, right? But the way the cinematic portrays it is very clear she's shown in the city with that. When she's supposed to have the church behind the city and the tower burning all around her and that's when she's like using the bud and stuff. So again, if I had to guess, they probably weren't 100% clear. Miyazaki just kind of wanted it all together. Maybe he himself hadn't decided quite yet how exactly the Romina thing would play out exactly. So he's being a little loosey-goosey there, but like, yeah. It's once again, much like with the Melania Radon thing, you have a little bit of cheating on like the environment around them and all that.
So Loki, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Regarding the Newman and the Hornson and the different races of man, who came first? This is the chicken and the egg type situation. Who came first? Like regular mankind, and the Newman just came in later, or were the Newman the progenitors of mankind?
So my current hypothesis is that the Newman are well, first of all, just like as a general rule, I believe that the human form originates from the stars. I don't know if it's because Marden had this idea of, oh, God is, man is made in the image of God type thing, and Marden's just like, oh, what if we make it literally? We're literally like the gods of the cosmos or whatever are like have the human form. But like that's supposed to be the explanation for why we see stuff like Estelle and the falling star beast, and they have the kind of human skulls.
And
or
two fingers
hands.
are 2 fingers of a hand. Yeah.
Or 2 fingers, like like all of that's what's the idea is that the human form, as we're familiar with it, is modeled on the creatures of the stars, the gods of the stars, right? All those spiritual entities that live up there in the cosmos, as it were, right? And then the Newman would be one of those. And again, I don't know because like there's like heavens and like spiritual animal things and all that jazz, right? But it seems like there's an idea where like there's like pocket dimensions and things in the cosmos and lands and all that stuff. So the Newman's homeland is somewhere up there in the stars, right? And then eventually, whether by the greater will or on their own or whatever, like who knows what's going on there in cosmic politics. But essentially, the Newman end up migrating down on Earth after the greater will has already created the dragons and stuff with the Elden Beast, right? So the Elden Beast takes the rock of the Earth it crashes into, and then it mixes that Earth with the gold, and that creates the stone dragons that we're familiar with, who are a mix of stone and gold. And creates that life. And then the Newmen are coming down, and they're like, okay, so you have silver and gold now. So you have like silver Newman from the stars, the gold dragons on the earth. From so you have all these dualities, heaven and earth, stone and water, all that, everything, right? It all kind of like flows together thematically as Miyazaki loves. And then essentially the Placky gets together with the Farmazula Queen, right? And she becomes like the first god of the Elden Ring, and they get together and they have children like we see in the Farmazula statues and release, right? Like they use the old Cainhurst statues of the king and queen, but we know dragons can take human form and stuff like that, right? So the idea would be that they get together, they have kids, and those become the Draconians and essentially the first humans, and eventually those generations eventually develop into all different races of men we see all across the world and blah, 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 right? So that seems to be the idea of what happens. And then some of those humans, after the collapse of the ancient civilization with Rao, end up becoming the Hornsent somehow or other. I haven't exactly worked out the exact mechanism to how you get a bunch of horny men, but it is what it is.
Feel that. Well, I mean, dragons have horns, so there's that.
Well, yeah, but again, I don't know if they're necessarily connected to dragons in that way, right? Because it seems to be connected somehow to this crucible and the life and all that jazz, right? So I don't want to like kind of hop on that too hard, but the idea does seem to be kind of like, that much like in Dark Souls, dragons are essentially the progenitor species of man, but in this case it's not like they slowly evolved into other animals and then humans, but more like the humans came from the stars and they mixed with the dragons, right? So it's like kind of a twist on like what Miyazaki's done in the past, probably with input from Marden. Because if I had to guess this, I think the reason why we see a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, this is very similar to what Miyazaki and stuff, from what he said, I think Miyazaki talked a lot about his ideas and things he's done in past games with Marden, and Marden just kind of took that and kind of mixed in his own stuff with like his Judeo-Christian influence and things like that, and stuff that Marden's done in his other works, and kind of just all threw that together to kind of create the setting as we know it, and then add things like the Elden Ring or whatever to help define it, when Miyazaki's like, oh, we need stuff so that way we have an excuse for why characters are immortal and blah blah blah, right? And he just developed the world from there, right? I think that's how the mythos happen, because it's super strange just how many Miyazaki-isms down to some even like really nuanced stuff is like being brought over here, when you see a lot of other stuff where you're like, oh yeah, this is something that Miyazaki definitely didn't make, right? So that's where I stand on that.
My thing is, if that's the case, if we go with your theory here, right, we have the shaman being the outliers, because like if everyone just came from like one family tree, not one family tree, but you know what I mean, like one line all the way down, with like Rao and things like that.
The idea would be that, the idea would be is that the Newmen, who become the Nox, were part of this Farmazula society, but they established they established essentially like kind of like a separate like coexisting civilization alongside of them, right? I've gone back and forth on whether it would be like they were completely independent, they just kind of lived elsewhere or whatever, like somewhere in Limgrave or something, or if they were you know, living just alongside the dragons in Farum Azula. But based on what Night Rain is showing us with Noclateo, it does look like it's the independent civilization route, where they basically were kind of like doing their own thing alongside Farum Azula, where Farum Azula is like this original ancient civilization, and then the we'll call them the Nox for the sake of simplicity. They're creating the proto Nox, are essentially kind of living, doing their alongside thing. Then there's the whole betraying the two fingers. There's the queen leaving and stuff like that. Now, originally, I've had obviously different theories before the DLC about what was going on with the queen and stuff, and what could potentially explain like how we end up with the Erdtree and all that stuff. But then obviously we have the DLC and stuff, so it looks to me like the new, like just like how I said how it looks like after Rau's collapsed, some of the survivors end up becoming the Hornsent. It looks like it's the same with Marika's tribe, where some of the Newmen from Rau's royal dynasty end up becoming the Shaman village. Which is why they live right next to the ruins of Rau and all that, where obviously the shadow keeps in the way now, but you know, you get what I'm saying.
Now, regarding that, when it comes to the shaman specifically, I've noticed that they have, well, America's Bloodline even is a good example for this. They have like plant-like biology, I guess is a good way to put it, or biological functions. Given the references to grafting, obviously we have that. But we also have like the grandmother. You see her in the village. She's got branches growing out of her skin.
Yeah, she seems like she's almost becoming part of the tree she's inside.
And not only that, but you have and I wouldn't say grafting really, but it's like it's pretty damn close to it with the jar women.
Obviously different from like Godric grafting, but more like traditional grafting.
But it's like they're melding together into one being. Like they have like one central nervous system.
Yeah, it's the
not
only
like
tree
several.
that's like dead in the village. Actually, Nardi, look at the stream right now. What I'm showing you, you may notice that on the trees in the village are unique in this area, and that they're the same vibrant green and gold ones we see in Rau. So again, kind of reinforcing this idea that they come from that lineage and culture, and the trees end up coming with them.
And you're right. Yeah, the only dead one is the one with the grandmother in it, which is really sad when you think about that.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if that's artistic, if that's connected to like, you know, the whole fusing thing or whatever, right? At what point did she die, right? Because clearly she didn't get kidnapped and stuff, right? So,
because I mean, like, look at Godwin, right? He's a perfect example of what happens when you have like waterlogged roots on a plant, and or root rot is a good way to put it. You also have like Mikla being a sapling.
Well,
you have
in general,
Melania.
they're portraying when waterlogging happens, all the big trees die. Like only the smaller trees, bushes, flowers. Like that's the only thing that really survives when we go look it through like the Liurnia Lake and River, or you know anything we see like where there's another body of water where clearly it wasn't always there. So.
Or they just turn to crystal because God knows Glintstone is probably somewhat of a parasite.
Yeah.
But yeah, you also have like Melania, which is an example of what happens when a dead tree trunk just gets overtaken by like mushrooms.
Oh no, wait, Nardi. Abyss, do you think you could create an infographic with important facts? Something like a timeline. I get really confused with timeline events.
No.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Well, now that you mention it.
The Loki timeline.
no.
Oh, hell nah.
All right, I gotta have another one of my Loki rants on this. Since you...
Oh, wait. Seu Eugênio, você está aqui, meu nobre.
Actually, Marty, I think if we go with Loki's idea, the plant-like aspects can be directly tied to the Crucible, because the Miranda flowers are animal-like. They scream when you light them on fire.
The cut flower crucible item, it seems like this is where, whether it was the original idea or not, it looks like that's where it went, ultimately.
Mind you, I'm only referring to one half of America's Kids.
Right.
I'm not talking about like the ones that are connected to Renala. Like this is just strictly her and Godfrey's kids.
All right. So here we go.
And here we go. Here we go.
If you want to ask a timeline, I at least do have, in fact, a timeline of events of the Godfrey's reign. So this is my updated timeline, including
Oh,
stuff with
God.
the DLC and everything here. So first, during this wonderful time of the old Erdtree, the Crucible, do you have a Discord server? Yes, as I was saying earlier, if you check the link in the description of the video to my website, go under the contact page, you will find a link to the Discord. If, you know, something's broken or whatever, feel free to just message me directly, and I'll make sure to update the link or whatever, because, you know, God forbid, you know, sometimes Discord's just like, you know, it's been like a year. I guess we'll just time you out now and say you can no longer have the link. It's like, hey, you just said it works as long as anyone can use it. Anyway, but so first off, in the old Erdtree area, the Erdtree is born, as we know. Hoarah becomes Godfrey, the Altus Plateau unification. So Marika and Godfrey work together, and Godfrey uses his tribe to help conquer the plateau for Marika, and starting with where Lingdell would be, and this is where the Sun Capital and stuff was, and things like that. And then you have the banishment to the penal colony. You have the giant war that happens afterwards. So to clarify, banishment to the penal colony refers to Stormvale. So you have the people who lived in Fortified Manor and stuff, and they basically get kicked out and they get thrown over onto the frontier where Stormhill is, and they start building up Stormvale as their penal colony. And that takes a very long time, because what a shocker, when the Stormlord was still alive, it really sucked to be on there for any extended period of time. Then you have the war with the Giants. Then, once the war with the Giants is done, okay, now the age of the Erdtree can truly begin. Because the Erdtree's been around for a while, right? Fair enough, it's been around, it's been doing its thing. But Marika now can enjoy this wonderful age of peace and prosperity. So we have this wonderful age of plenty, right? Now, eventually, the age of plenty ends when suddenly the Glowmite Queen, cough, cough, Melina, suddenly creates these godskin nobles and acolytes and stuff, and starts killing a bunch of the demigods and things like that, and turning them into skin. And alongside that seems to be working alongside the Gelmir Serpent in rebellion against Marika and stuff. So Godfrey deals with the Serpent, with the whole, you know, sword spear thing that we use in the Rykard fight, and then seemingly against like a proto Rykard, so probably like a Glowmite Queen, you know, Elden Lord equivalent or whatever, right? Who ended up getting eaten by the snake and becoming essentially Rykard 0.5, and gets killed. And that's how we get the finger that ends up being used seemingly to create the finger creepers that we see around in the base game, not the DLC. Those seem to all be meta evolved. So again, Malekith kills the Glowmite Queen. Okay, seals destined death. Marika's all happy here. Well, but her Crucible ends up dying anyway. Her Age of Plenty wasn't to last. So the first Erdtree seeds are sown. These become the minor Erdtree. Then we have Marika being like, oh, why is my tree having seeds? Why is my Crucible dying? This is not what was supposed to happen. I'm supposed to be the Eternal Queen. This is supposed to last forever. Okay, so she starts researching Order, and this becomes the beginning of what will ultimately become Golden Order fundamentalism. So then you have, at the same time, she's having her son Mesmer, who is probably like the twin or whatever, some sibling related to Melina, where Melina had the golden flames, which ended up becoming the black flames, and Mesmer had these abyssal flames by contrast. And so you have like the duality is where Marika's not trusting Mesmer, so Mesmer has to prove himself by going on crusade, and Marika doesn't want to risk anyone like Melina deciding she's going to go off and become like, you know, the new queen of another age besides hers, because Marika ultimately has always chosen power when it comes between that and family, and so ends up having the Realm of Shadow plunged into the Realm of Shadow gets plunged into the shadow, and then Mesmer goes out, does the whole crusade thing. The Hornset are obviously very pissed because like, hey, Marika, what the fuck? Like, we were the one who helped you. We propped you up. We did all these things for you or whatever. Like we were working together on this. And then that's when they start cursing her. The Omen curse starts happening. We see that with Morgott and Mohg and all that stuff, right? So you have it happening over at the Stormvale colony. You have it happening over back at Lingdell and on the plateau. And oh, it's so awful and everything. And eventually they either kill or give up all their kids. Then the Age of Plenty by this point finally ends formally, and we get into like the standard Erdtree age, and this is where we start transitioning into the Radagon era, where you have the Liurnian Wars, where Marika wants more research. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna go try to raid the libraries of Rennala and stuff like that. It went horribly for 2 wars, but then she realized it's okay. Rennala is fucking love struck. I can take advantage of this, and she wins anyway. Pog Marika. Ancient Dragon War then happens afterwards. Ancient Dragons finally realize, hey, you took our Baal and our army that was fighting Baal, and you cut them off from us over in the Realm of Shadow. This kind of sucks. And then Grand Sax basically kind of YOLOs it, and he ends up starting a war. Great job there, Princey. And then they end up destroying Var Missoula and blah, blah, blah. You know, it goes into the sky and all that. But at the same time, the Stormvale penal colony had rebelled. And that rebellion causes it to start spreading all around in this frontier. And it's like, oh, this foreign polity. It's going to be this great farm empire now. Everything's going to be kosher. Well, it wasn't so kosher because then Godfrey shows up after the Ancient Dragon War and starts sieging Stormvale and fights with the Storm Lord, kills the big giant scary hawk thing that's helping out the farm colonists, and then that gets gone away. And then finally, Stormvale's now back under Godfrey's control. You know, he gets to build his throne room. America's joining him. They're having a good old time, enjoying their vacation out on the frontier, killing some rebels, and then they start spreading around. That's where we get like the siege of Castle Morn, and we get the battles all the way across over to Caelid, finally conquer Celia, and there we go. We're all done. They're on their way back. Everything's happy. But America wants to take a detour to the Third Church America. Oh, and then she's gonna just, you know, just a teeny tiny little thing of taking away your grace. And then suddenly now Godfrey and his folk are tarnished. America's like, hey, I command you to get the hell out of my lands between. So they do that. Long march happens there. And then meanwhile, America comes back with Radigan and marries him. And now suddenly we have the Age of Radigan. And we know how all that goes and leads up to the Shattering. So again, like a lot of history there that we just summarized, but this covers a very nice overview, and most of this I've already covered on my website, link in the description. I repeat again, feel free to check that out, guys. I really do think a lot because there's a lot of nice little details both between localization and items and environmental storytelling that these guys here in the Discord have helped me out with. I'm done.
Good.
We gotta have one of those rants every time.
Every third stream.
Every third stream. It's like, hey Loki, do you have a timeline for Elden Ring? It's like, well, you just said the magic words. Ay. No, but like, it's crazy to think like that's just the Godfrey stuff. Like, there is so much history packed into just the Godfrey stuff. It's kind of ridiculous. And that was like the very brief overview I did. Like, we could have gotten to so much when it just came to the Mesmer stuff alone. Even some of the Glowmite Queen stuff we could really kind of dig our teeth into. It's just... this game is dense, man.
This game has layers like an onion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's what's enjoyable, though, right? Like, I think From Software went out and they wanted to create one of their games in an open world environment, and I think they succeeded, right? They reused assets and stuff a lot and things like that, right? But I think considering that this is From Software and the way that they tell their stories and stuff like that, I think they did a really good job of being able to tell a story when they're no longer limited by just doing the Metroidvania style setting. They can now do like a truly open world with all the little vignettes and storylines and things that all kind of, weave together to form this larger whole that we see. Yeah, we get a little bit more stuff with the Highlanders and stuff in the DLC as well, right? Like, again, the DLC added even more on top of what we already got. And because it's an overview, I don't go into too much detail on that, but yeah, like, I have a thing on Highlanders. I have a lot of different stuff, and like, again, the problem is that like there's so much to cover, and I can only cover so much, especially when people, obviously, I wanted for the longest time cover Dark Souls, and I feel good to see that Dark Souls is mostly completed, and then Bloodborne's another thing that I personally really liked, but it's thankfully, it's kind of like Demon Souls where it's smaller scale, but not as small as Demon Souls. It just takes time. It takes so much time. No, bro, you didn't.
What?
Oh my fire! No, Bright. Okay, we're kicking him out. He doesn't belong on this server anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna ban him.
Also, Nobre, where the hell is your avatar from?
Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh, okay.
Good
So
animal.
that's the Edge Runner. So I'm like, the style looks familiar, but I don't recognize it. So.
Yeah, it's Lucy.
It's a shame they didn't comment on that indirectly with Godfrey. Again, I don't know how relevant the Godfrey that whole the Lord requires a vessel. I don't know how relevant it is specifically to Godfrey in this context, or if they're just talking about it, because it's supposed to be a message that Miquella sends from the tower to Mesmer. So like I don't know how much he specifically talked about in the context of what his Lord requires. His Lord requires a vessel versus him just speaking generally. Either way, there's a lot of there is a lot of Godfrey stuff with the Highlanders and stuff, but they don't touch on it too much. They kind of touch a little bit more on the whole drops of amber and stuff with like that talisman of like Godfrey like holding it and it's like showing him becoming Elden Lord and stuff like that. But again, like we basically already knew that. It's basically just confirming stuff that you could already piece together like before the DLC. So then again, you could technically say the same about the dragons, but it took until Bale for most people, I understand, to notice.
I keep staring at my profile pic of like the Ronnie Chucky doll.
I love it. I think it's hilarious that you did that.
Thank you. I can't take credit for that though. It came from a TikTok of an artist like drawing. I want to say it was like Marika and Ronnie talking or arguing or something, and then Ronnie just goes and like kills Godwin in front of her, and then like parkours down a flight of stairs past Melania and Mikola.
Is it just Ronnie's voice line still, or do they have like Chucky doll style cursing?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull it out real quick.
I'm dead. You think Mikola wrote the scroll to Mesmer? Yeah, nice guy. It was a while back, but it's like, oh, okay. It uses the horn scent tree bark as the paper for that scroll. So yeah, it's clearly a message written. And again, this it's a little subtler in the final game because they cut a few of the lines, but there is an allusion to Mesmer hearing about Tarnished and stuff from Mikola. So like Mikola basically showed up and kind of got buddy with Mesmer before doing his tower stuff. So they're in contact. Which is kind of funny, is like, imagine like, Gaius shows up, tells you about like the stepbrother you didn't know you had, and then like suddenly Mikola shows up and tells you, oh yeah, here's the half brother you also didn't know you had. Like Mesmer's just like learning secondhand all this shit his mom's doing without him.
Loki, I just sent you the video.
Oh god, I'm gonna watch it after the stream. No, it's supposed to be a, yeah, because the whole reason that you have the commentary from what's his face, it's a commentary from I forgot what his name is, old man Moog affiliate. Ansbach, there it is. Ansbach, because here's the thing, it's clear from Ansbach's dialogue, this is Mikola. Mikola is the writer. This is him detailing, this is essentially Ansbach learning what Mikola's plan is by reading his message that he sent to the Shadowkeep. Ansbach was the best character from the DLC. Unironically, I think yes. Like, the only character I think might beat him is Leda, and I admit, I mainly like Leda because of the hilarious unintentional joke she makes in the middle of her quest. Like, just that pause, and then she being like, oh, I think I am crazy. Like, I will absolutely adore. That made me laugh so hard.
That little bit of self-realization.
Making the scrolls, Night Scout. Also, we see tons of scrolls, like paper and stuff that they have around and stuff at the tower, Night Scout. Like, have you not seen, like, can I go there? Yeah, I can. Have you not seen, like, some of the storage stuff they have in there? I think around, oh god. I do not know what the Niralim, I don't know what the Niralim, grace points are. Like, they are so... yeah, this is far away, but maybe this will be easy enough. Anyway, but, what? Oh, I didn't die this time. Anyway, like, the stuff with, like, Ansbach and, like, Leda and stuff like that, it was definitely something where I found, like, at least there was, like, they were definitely trying with the characters there. I think that's one of the things I have to criticize about Elden Ring overall, though. I do feel like it's where Miyazaki's trying too hard. I really prefer his style where, like, the characters are just kind of in the world and stuff like that. But he was, like, really trying to push it to make sure their side stories and stuff all tied in together. Yeah, there we go. Like, there are plenty of scrolls. We got the documents for days. Like, the idea that Mikola can't find a tree or even just an already existing tree scroll from either Bellarat or the tower and stuff itself, assuming he was already inside at the time.
He just grabbed a spell scroll and then wrote it on the back of it. With
Yeah,
crayons.
Like Onsbox, like, oh, he's learning. He's trying to resurrect Radon using the body of Moog. And then, like, he like flips it over, and he's also learning a spiritual cooking recipe with the bones of the ancestors. What? Why is it written in crayon? Yeah.
Yeah, he got it from going to a Hornset restaurant and ordering from the kids menu.
Ay. I even find it funnier how this church was apparently burned when it's like it's all just stone. It's a stone and open with an open courtyard. It's like, what the hell are you burning, Hornset? Yeah, at some point you're just like, okay, just gotta hand wave it. You know, the lore is the lore. Oh god, I hate how you can't use I get it because they don't let you use it for the actual fight. But it's just so annoying how as soon as you get here, it dismounts you from Torrent when the boss is already dead. It's even funnier when you consider the cinematic and stuff, right? Because like you have like freaking Mesmer like standing on that tower directing the flames and it burns it or whatever. But then like either you have to believe that either A, Romina's just watching this casually from the sidelines before her stuff is getting burned, or they already burned it in advance. And yet Mesmer has to now go all the way around and somehow like have them attack the city. Like again, it's very clear like the logistics of how the crusade played out is kind of silly. That much is kind of like, well, this is a little ridiculous, but whatever. We'll live with it. I will say, I think Rao's my favorite area in terms of like the color palette and stuff. Just the mix of the green and the gold. Yeah. I don't know. I just you don't really see like this kind of, what's the word? You know, this vibrancy of green and gold together like this.
Verdant.
Yeah, very verdant for sure. In the DLC. Again, that doesn't make sense though, Night Scout. Her because she's supposed to be in the church as it's burning around all around her while she's doing that mourning, which is why the cinematic doesn't make sense with showing that with her in the city. It's very clear that, again, it's very obviously the same situation as like with Radon and with Melania. Maybe they had a different idea originally on where you'd fight Romina or whatever, right? But it's very obvious, it's very clear that, you know, much like with the whole Radon and like Melania fighting clearly on the Wailing Dunes, and yet they move it to obviously the Aeonia fields that we see in the final game. Like, and it's one of those things where you just kind of accept, like, you know, cinematics play loosey-goosey. Why tell Mesmer his goal? Ask Miquella what he's trying to clarify. Because again, we have to imagine what's he gonna do when he's done with Radon? Probably go back to Mesmer, I imagine. At the very least to clarify, hey, I've done my thing or whatever. Are you gonna join me in my new order? You know, like, again, if he's powwowing with Mesmer, I imagine that he at least has the intention of bringing Mesmer into his order, and Mesmer at the very least isn't like outright rejecting it right away.
Well, Mick will lead him out, and then he'll get to see his mom.
Yeah, that's true. That could be the other option. He could be like, hey, you want to go see Mother or whatever, I'll bring you back, right? Because the whole point is that Miquella is trying to, like, tear down the old order and stuff, so there's no point in Mesmer doing the stuff he's doing anymore. Especially when he's coming with saying, like, yeah, your mom is kind of dead. Like, she's no longer relevant. I'll show you the corpse. I'm going to go see her right now. I mean,
I have to get to the Elden Ring.
I mean, right? Like, that's essentially what the plan would be.
Get the Elden Ring, break it down, put his crown in there as the new base of it. Get rid of get rid of causality.
Have you seen the people who have been speculating that, oh, you know, the delays and all that's because it's not just them adding like a few new classes or whatever. They're gonna like add an entire new Mikula ending.
But I would love that. You know, I like it if it would be like a soft Skull of the First Sin, but I think it's best not to hope for that.
Yeah, I'm not expecting too much. I feel like the delay is probably because they just don't have the resources to do all the stuff. It's supposed to be on Switch and stuff too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just a problem of them trying to do the optimization, and they just don't have the manpower with all the other projects they're working on. Yeah, I'm not too hopeful. You think the incest with Marika Radigan came from Martin, but Miyazaki had the original idea of being like one character? Who knows? Again, we're probably never going to be privy to the exact conversations Miyazaki and Martin had, but it's always possible for us to get his actual you know, mythos that he wrote.
Note.
Yeah. And yeah, any like maybe compendium notes that he had. Again, I'm worried that like Miyazaki's gonna sit on that until like Martin kicks the bucket, and then he's gonna be like, oh, as a tribute to him, I'll be, you know, publishing these or whatever, like online or something. I could see Miyazaki doing something like that, because I feel like it's very clear like he wants to show off to people because he thinks it's super like an amazingly well written prose by Martin. I imagine it's you know, it probably reads kind of like the poetry or something that you'd see in what's the Lord of the Rings compendium called, the appendixes and stuff. The name evades me, but it's probably something kind of written like that, I imagine, maybe like with kind of like a pseudo in-universe thing, I would imagine. And then I get but he clearly said that he doesn't want to do it because, you know, like it goes against like his storytelling principles. He doesn't want to hand it all the right way and like all the answers and everything right there. So I don't know. I feel like it's something that either he's never going to release it or he's going to wait until like a big event like that happening to Martin for him to do so, which I like, God hoping, you know, Martin's going to live a long life or whatever, right? So he's going to have a few extra years at least in him, but especially for those that want his books to be finished. But the I could see that being where Miyazaki's gonna be like, I'm at least gonna wait that long, and who knows, maybe he's gonna even wait till years after whatever happens or something. Again, assuming he ever does. I hope eventually it does come out though, because I would love to kind of compare and contrast, you know, where did everyone's theories end up at the end of the day, you know? The Silmarillion, yes, there we go. Thank you, Christian. Unfortunately, I am a dumbass and I cannot remember all of these elvish names that Tolkien had. Yeah, the backstory. Yeah, I imagine that it's kind of like that, because from what I understand, the Silmarillion does have a lot of like poetic prose and stuff like that. I imagine something like that was probably the style that Martin went with, based on how Miyazaki describes it. For me, ER has good villains and stuff. Again, I don't know like where to put like. Again, I would assume most of the demigods would probably fall under somewhere on that line, right? But like stuff like Marika, I'm not exactly sure because it depends on how much of it. Like Radigan seems definitely more in the antagonistic role and things like that. It's just one of those things where like I don't know where I feel about the characters as villains, but I definitely like most of them as characters so far. So I don't know. As a villain lover, Dark Souls 3 has Elden Ring beat for me. So overall. But like I do like Elden Ring's characters a lot, so I actually thought this might have been added with Rao, but this seems to be something you also see in the Ruinstream Precipice. I wouldn't be surprised if it's elsewhere, and I just don't remember. There we go. Yeah. And look at that. With the shadow tree and everything. Alright. Okay, chat. So I think we're going to be winding things down now. You know, we've had a nice long stream. You got to enjoy hearing everybody here on the server or whatever, talking in the VC.
Yeah.
Yep. So, again, very happy with very happy with what I've already published on Elden Ring. I'm looking forward to what we get there in the future, but for now, the main focus is definitely going to be Bloodborne. Tumeru's coming along nicely. The lore, it's, again, I can't promise anything by the end of the year. It may have to be like in January or something. It's just going to depend on how expansive it gets, because this is a topic that can very easily blow up, because there's so much to talk about, and it's very easy that I just become really bogged down in all the different items and things and having to figure out how I'm going to weave it all together and organize it right. It's definitely a topic that can become infinitely more complex the more we have to factor in, like what we were talking about earlier with the dogs. Now, thankfully, the stuff with the ash that we found, that should be something I could easily just add in the update. So sometime this week, I'll probably find a way to insert that in there. That shouldn't be too difficult. But yeah, the stuff with Tumeru itself is going to be, oh boy. Because we're also going to talk about the Hintertombs. There's Tumeru Ill. There's going to be the curse stuff as well, potentially. I have to decide whether I'm going to save that for a Loran, if it's related to that or not like that. But like, overall, it's a lot. BB makes my heart happy. Can't wait. Yeah, again, I'm very proud of my BB content that I already have here. And I'm very glad that like Chalice Dungeons is like the biggest stuff we have to talk about next. But like, it's one of those things where I have to be very careful with the Chalice Dungeons, which is why I'm glad I double checked the stuff on the Watchdog, because I definitely might have made a few missteps. Even if it's like just small details, like, you know, that stuff matters to me. So, just making sure I do, you know, cross all my T's and dot my I's. So that'll be important. Going by Vesper's dialogue, with Empire America still alive to an extent to actively choose the Tarnished as Elden Lord? At the very least, Mesmer would believe so. Again, I know we've talked about America being dead or something like that, but again, there's a question of what does that really mean for a god? Because clearly, at least some aspect of her spirit is communicating with people. Same with Radagon. Radagon is clearly trying to oppose us between the Thorns and the Erdtree Avatar, like I alluded to earlier in the beginning of the stream with that Lord's Rune and stuff like that. Like, it's very clear that there is, it's very clear, like, they're not, like, you know, their bodies may be to some extent dead, but it's definitely not destined death kind of dead. And their spirits are most certainly still haunting this world, as it were. So it is what it is. I have a lot of early hints behind lore from BB since a lot of old files from it. Unfortunately, a lot of BB lore also got changed and stuff like that. Like obviously, like Kos was originally Ebrietis. I can't remember if this is still true, but there are also indications that Ebrietis was also originally the name for Flora / the Moon Presence and stuff like that. We do have some stuff like some characterization with Lawrence, which isn't really consistent with the final game and stuff like that. Like they definitely there's definitely a lot in BB that they moved around, and same in Elden Ring. We see a lot of stuff with Elden Ring that got moved around, like Radahn being a pet person in general, like an animal guy. You don't really got a lot of that in the final game, so who knows if that's canon anymore. But then also stuff like what they had for Limgrave, they had a completely different idea, seemingly what they were doing with the regions and things like that. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can learn from cut content on what the development process is. But anyway, that is for another time we can chat about. Until then, everybody.